Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Roy Wolfman, director of this picture you're about to see here. We have all the spooks, ghouls, ghosts, and goblins for you in this amazing celebration of the drive-in this year on the 4th of July weekend. Be sure not to check under your seats and also watch for the skeletons and spookies who are coming around with your anthropomorphic glasses. Joining me is my co-host and maintenance man, and I gotta fix this. No, there we go, better. And concessions boss Doctor Chaotic. Say hello, Doctor.
All right, man. I got the wiring set up, but I do warn you, some of these cables you gave me are fucking chewed up the shit. So if this starts an electrical fire in the fader, I'm blaming you, motherfucker.
Why did you put him in the pit? You
I
know there's trouble
I
that
didn't put
well
them in
done.
the pit, motherfucker.
No, but
Dude,
how else did they get? How else did they get chewed up?
the rats in your stash.
There's rats in my stash. There's rats in. I'll get to you later. And of course, the boss with the most, Mr. Ookami.
Okay, nobody panic. I
There we go.
was doing perfectly ethical things in my office,
Ethical.
and how do I put this? Has anybody seen a kind of nightmarish centipede running around here?
You let it loose, didn't you?
It slipped under my door.
All right. After all this, last time it got out, it ended up napping in the pork bones that I use for broth. I'll check there just in case.
It
All
grabs a
right.
hold of it, so make sure you scream with all your might. Scream when you see it.
The screaming obscenities at it work?
Yes.
It'll
Okay,
stun it.
perfect.
Don't hurt it. I actually kind of find it cute.
You would.
It's mine.
Sounds
Okay,
like
it came from my victim, but still, I mean, it came from a perfectly good place, ethical place.
Uh-huh. Ethical.
This entire thing sounds like the start for a bad dragon collection.
Indeed.
Just stay out of the storage closet for the next 2 days. Hi everybody.
I'm not cleaning up the maggots again.
Well, you're going to have to clean up the maggots again. That's what we hired you for.
Christ, I don't get paid enough for this.
Anyways, what y'all see, what y'all hear, what y'all eat. What's going on, folks? Who wants to start?
I've been playing more Hyrule Warriors because I'm a bit of a masochist.
Dynasty Warriors in Hyrule. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Fun game. Man, it gets frustrating, especially when it's always like, oh, the Hylian captain needs help. The Hylian captain is in trouble. I'm like, motherfucker, you can't survive 2 minutes in the war.
How did you get to your rank? Oh, officer school. Okay, that explains everything.
Aside from the movies that we've watched for this, I don't know. I've just been kind of watching YouTube, enjoying the I plan to get a Switch 2 soon. I mark my words, I will get it.
Mark.
Because this new Donkey Kong looks so fun.
Mark.
God damn it.
You know it's true.
That's pretty much what's been going on. Been working on getting some best of selections of episodes from past podcasts up on the Wolfman Productions.
You got like a 10-hour render going, right?
I got one up there now, yeah. There is a 10-hour it's a 10-hour episode on there. 12 parts combined into one.
I hope it beats White Noise number 12.
And then I plan to add one more before the month of June is over, because I want to get the Utena reviews up there.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I think that's actually pretty much it. I haven't been up to very much as of late. Just watching some movies, watching some tokusatsu.
Okay.
I saw how World Ninja Jiraiya ended. That's a what the fuck.
Is it
Oh,
like
ninjas! Suddenly, it's like, oh, and now we got a planet coming to crash into our planet because of the space alien that came to like the planet back in 2300 years ago. Like, he just was here for ninjas. What the fuck?
when did this happen?
Yeah.
I was just here for the magic ninjas.
Yeah, I was just here for the magic ninjas.
Magic ninjas. Magic ninjas what? Magic ninjas what?
Somehow I knew you would go for that.
Yeah, other than that, not too much going on.
Doc, what about you?
Well, I'm gonna start out with a funny story. So around the time this is being recorded, long story. I went down a bit of a tech rabbit hole. So out of pure morbid curiosity, I looked up to see if there was people selling Switch 2s in my area, like retailers. All but one is sold out.
You got the other one, didn't you?
Oh hell no! They were asking for like $750 for it.
What the fuck?
Blame Walmart. I don't fucking know.
Walmart?
Walmart was asking for that.
They were.
That's
did
scalping,
it
my
come
dude.
like a bundle that they created or something?
No, it was the regular Mario Kart World bundle. If I just got the Switch 1, it would have been $700.
That's not right. Someone's scalping.
Yeah. That's not.
Here's the thing. This is not off of fucking just eBay or anything. This is off the official Walmart site. So
you can scalp off of that, actually.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're buying off of the official Walmart site, you have to be careful because people can actually sell stuff on that site.
On that site, yes.
Oh, okay.
So some chump was trying to get a free $750 off.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Because like it's why you can like one of the big things is you can find. Apparently, you can find fucking hentai at Walmart, but not like in store. You can order it online. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And then I looked into like some of the prices, and some of the stuff were like, oh no, we actually haven't had this in like years. And I'm like, then why are you advertising? Because it was sold by somebody. Like, okay, so you turned yourselves into eBay.
They did. So now they've got all the anglerfish on Walmart now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Waiting for the gotcha.
Shit, I'd rather just go on Craigslist by that point. Christ.
Yeah.
At least a chance I can get a Switch 2 and a blowjob. Anyway.
No. That's double page.
Yeah. What, they take all the sexual stuff off the personal ads?
Yes.
They did.
Oh.
Sorry you lost your free BJ.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
probably find a lot of it.
I should at least get a BJ with that Switch 2. Holy shit.
It's gonna be that much, yeah.
$750, at least get like an intermediate talent on that. You know?
Shit. Anyway, so aside from that, what the fuckery? Out of curiosity, I went on the mystical, magical computer PC master race place that is Newegg, and I ended up looking for some parts because I'm thinking about replacing certain parts of my PC because I love this thing, but it was a budget build even a couple of years ago, and it's old. There's some old parts in here. You know, mainly I know this because I checked new places like Newegg and PC Parts Picker. They don't sell my motherboard anymore.
Oh no.
If they do, it's gonna be on somewhere like Facebook Marketplace or eBay. Jesus. So I end up trying my best to like see what happens. More, there's some parts in this I'm gonna keep, mainly the power supply and the memory, both RAM and the SSD I have in here, because I do have an M.2 in here. So, with all that said, without peripherals like monitors and things like that, I got it down to a little under $1,000.
Nice.
Nice.
So I have that list in there. I'm gonna keep it in mind and try to like build towards it because I can't casually drop a fucking grand right now.
No.
I don't
Um,
I don't make that kind of money. So the main big things I'm replacing is, while I love the GPU I got in here, it's a couple generations behind. I need to replace it soon ish. I'm gonna switch over because I have an Intel in here, but I am gonna switch over to a Ryzen because I think, from what I understand and all the stuff I've done, it's just generally better for gaming in particular. And that's what I mainly do on this fucking PC, other than recording with you guys. So
mhm.
shit happens there. I'm also replacing the case because, while I love this old thing, like half the covers are gone. It's so old that it has a drive cover door. Uh, Cable managing's kind of shit, although that's on my end. It's I love the old thing, but it's she's almost on her last legs.
Mhm.
So I'm looking into getting that replaced soon. If nothing else, I'm gonna try to at least start getting parts near the beginning of fall, and then maybe if I can make a go for full bulks during the holidays, it's either that or I just say fucking that's when I get to Switch too.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things where it's like it's a planning thing I need to do because yeah, I can't casually drop $300 for a fucking GPU right now. I just can't. I would love
Actu-
to. Shit, I would love to have that money.
Yeah, same.
But
I actually have a plan for the Switch 2, not since you bring it up, for how
mm,
I'm going to get it.
You're gonna
I'm
donate
going
it to McDonald's. That's awesome.
I'm going to piecemeal. I'm going to what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the games first that I'm after. I'm going to go ahead and get the Donkey Kong game. I'm going to go ahead and get Mario Kart World. Then I'm going to pick up a Pro Controller. Then I will get the console.
mm,
I see.
That is my plan. Because like the Pro Controller itself is already like, what was that, like $80 now, I think is what they have it at.
like 70, 80, yeah.
Yeah. And the game is 80 and 70 respectfully. So go ahead and do those. And then all I have to worry about is having the like near $500 to get the console.
Yeah.
Probably not going to do the bundle. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, that's a plan you need to have because Jesus. Anyway, less money hungry things aside.
Mhm.
I ended up going back down another FPS rabbit hole.
What's in this time?
Uh, I got a nice little bundle for cheap. I ended up getting all 3 Max Payne games.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so As of right now, I think I have everything Remedy has on Steam except for the more recent Control spinoff. And oh yeah, I forgot about Quantum Break. Whoops.
Everybody forgot Quantum Break.
Also, I
Yeah,
apologize for the coughing, folks. I have allergies. They're just really fucking bad.
Allergies.
yeah. Technically the only game in the Remedy verse I don't really have is Alan Wake 2, but that's because it's still an Epic game. It's exclusive, so fuck that.
Also, fuck Alan Wake too.
I know
That's
you
me.
have that problem, Roy. Everybody else did it. Uh, so yeah, I did play a little bit of that, and I did have a little bit of forgetting about classic gaming for a moment. That game makes you. That game made me really miss auto saving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to learn the magical arcs of quick save and quick load.
Yes, like the rest of us.
So yeah, I ended up playing a little bit of that, and I'm not gonna lie, I think I've watched too much, like I've made fun of too much serious movies at this point because going through that entire prologue, I was not feeling the emotions. I was just making jokes.
Yeah, sounds like you.
Literally, literally, I get to the nursery area. I was like, "Well, there's the dead baby, and the mama dead as shit." Spoilers.
What movie is this again?
The beginning, it's the prologue to Max Payne. It's the one. It's the
Oh,
scene
okay.
where it's the scene where where you come home and you find out that the random insane asylum members with guns killed your wife and your baby.
Ah,
And Okami's shaking her head, but I know for a fact that me and you have laughed at darker French movies than that.
I mean, true.
Do I need to mention Inside?
Lansing? Mateus?
No,
Frontiers?
more like Dead Baby.
This is after my baby.
Yeah, so that was a thing. Also, fun fact. Apparently, an interesting thing happened where I had to learn the magic of reshader and fan patching. Cause yeah, that game Max Payne on Steam is weirdly unstable.
How unstable is it?
Let's see. I was getting like 15 frames and sound was glitching to hell and back. I mostly blame it on the fact that yeah, I am playing on a Windows. I'm playing an XP game on a 10 machine, so I had to have the magic of fan patchy to help me fix that one.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so it's smooth enough. It's 1080p, runs at 60 frames per second, quick and easy. Although to continue on the train, but slightly different approach. I randomly when I decided again to start doing FPSs, I randomly got the bug on my ass and I re-downloaded the Master Chief Collection.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You got so for context, folks, the most I've ever really played of Halo was like a bit of Reach, a bit of Halo 1, and one giant co-op playthrough with this bitch and an old friend of ours that we sadly don't talk to anymore.
Yeah, I
So
kept killing you.
you did, because friendly fire was going on, and this is what happens when we had it on Legendary, all skulls on. Jesus Christ.
But the best part, the most amazing part, I think, and my favorite moment of all of that was when we got to the end of a level, and you're like, there, see, you can't kill me. But because I was still on the turret, and we hadn't hit the end of mission yet. It hadn't said it yet. I shot your fucking head off.
I have one of the few many. Keep in mind, this was after like 4 or 5 hour session. I feel like that took us to do that.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 1 a.m, and at that point, I wanted to reach through Discord and schoolwork.
I was cackling too.
Yeah,
and you can tell I was basically sleep deprived. Like I was probably tired too. So I'm getting even more amusement than I should.
Yeah. So that was a fun time. Yeah, but as of right now, I randomly ended up deciding to do just Halo 1 from the very beginning.
Okay.
So just kind of start right there and go for it. Although going back to old tech and old computers, I haven't told this story on the Starlite, but I did tell Ookami about what had happened with this. So, Doc, what you got to know about your dear friend, the chaotic doctor? He goes down really random rabbit holes to the point where he'll dive hours into it, and I had no idea why he did.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so an example I had recently was I decided, for some fucking reason, to randomly try to make a virtual Windows 98 machine. And brother, the fucking blood, sweat, and tears it took me to do that. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, the story here. Yeah, take it away.
So, to make a long, I'll try to keep it short. There's this thing called PCEM, where it's very much software, but it emulates hardware specs, specifically a lot of older hardware specs. Like you can get a ROM pack and everything to set up to do everything from like a old IBM 86 to about a Pentium 2. Maybe more, but you would have to look for it. Like if you want to do like XP or a Pentium and like a Pentium 4, you would have to go search for like the like drivers and stuff yourself. Anyway, so what ended up happening was that I downloaded a couple of stuff and I tried to make a Windows 98 machine. The problem started where for some reason I couldn't get Windows 98 set up to start. What I had found out was I forgot about setting up the boot order in the BIOS. So I had to set up a boot order for the BIOS in order to read the CD-ROM first, so I could then I can then use it to install Windows 98. That part's done. Problem 2 is that I needed the drivers for the run I was using, which was basically sort of an Intel Pentium 2 336, I think was it? Or was it 266? One of those two. And a Voodoo 3 graphics card. Because, you know, if it's Windows 98, I wanted to run 3D stuff.
Right.
Here's where the new problem happens. A big thing with PC Mini is that technically you can make virtual hard disks. So I made one and tried to, see if I can put the drivers in it. Problem is Windows 10 doesn't recognize it as a hard disk. It recognizes it as a file.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took like an hour or two to figure out something like, what can I do? This is bull. I then found out, oh, I have to personally make a virtual hard disk in Windows 10 first, and then have PCME use it as a virtual hard disk. So I did that. And first I had to install Windows 98 on it, because if I did it with the drivers in the virtual drive, it would erase everything. So I mounted to PCM, started up Windows, then closed it, and then mounted the virtual hard drive in 10 and put the drivers back in. So after that, plus how long it takes for installation for an Intel chipset, a Voodoo 3 graphics card, and a Sound Blaster, yes, I was emulating a fucking sound card, I got it to mainly work. So I at least wanted to run one game before I did this. And keep in mind, this is like 11:30 at night on a Tuesday. So this was very spur of the moment. The game I decided to do is the original Typing of the Dead. Good thing is since it's technically abandonware, you can get the ISO very, very easily. So I downloaded it, I set it up, I installed it and run it, and the game was stuttering as shit, and the audio wasn't really working.
Oh no.
I was legit getting pissed at this point, because I'm like, what the fuck did you want now, you piece of shit? Turns out, I was trying to emulate a processor that, for some reason, my modern PC couldn't emulate properly. So the emulation was running at like 5% slower than it needed to. So I had to downgrade the CPU and then reinstall it again, and I finally got it to work. Keep in mind, this was 1 in the goddamn morning at this point. I ended up playing for about 10 minutes till I realized I couldn't keep my eyes open, and then I shut everything down and I passed out. My God in heaven, the things I do for curiosity. The worst parts are, I had planned to get some other games on there, maybe download them when I was asleep. One was I was going to do the Lego Island games, because I couldn't help but be curious. Here's the problem.
It's Legos and it's on an island.
No, not that, although that would be funny if that was. Problem is, in order for background noise, I had LGR and John on. He's a great dude. YouTube, Lazy Game Reviews, go watch him. And I watched his Lego Island video. And he mentions that certain Pentium 2 processors have trouble running Lego Island because the clock speed's too fast. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh, fuck that. I do not feel like dealing with that right now. So I said, fuck it. The other game I wanted to do was to do the 95 FMV adventure game, Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
I suggested Croc.
Croc was an option. I was thinking about Croc.
What about Gex?
Technically, I have the first Gex on GOG, so I don't really need to run that. Gex 2 and Gex 3, you're probably going to have to buy that collection. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway.
Yeah, I want it.
So, I was looking up Ripper, and I found out that some dude on a website called Zomb's Lair, ZOMB' Lair.
Mm-hmm.
Dude had compiled a bunch of these old 90s FMV games and did it to where they could work on modern systems. And Ookami, I checked. A lot of them we know are on there. Ripper, Black Dahlia. Sadly, I couldn't find Johnny Mnemonic or Fox Hunt, but I think they're working on that. Some of the weirder ones were on there, like Dark Sea, the Dark Sea Collection, an FMV Frankenstein game starring Tim Curry I didn't know existed, but that was a fun thing to find. So I saw that, I'm like, so I didn't even really need to make this virtual machine bullshit. I should have gotten it from this guy. Motherfucker. So I said, fuck that too. And said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to settle for Typing of the Dead. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to go. I say, fuck it and pass out. I got it to work, but said fuck it and said pass out anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
So the moral of the story is, if you're going to follow the random bug up your ass you get out of curiosity, do that when you're not sleep deprived. And make sure you know what you're doing. Because holy shit.
This is true.
Yeah,
Very
so
true.
that wasn't that a fun time. Anyway, one big thing I will say right now that I am planning to do, and this is a definite plan, so stay tuned for this, folks. There's this one TV special that I've been meaning to watch and do a critic list on because I can't help but be curious to see how it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Have you ever heard of a little TV special called Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue?
Have fun going back to that shit.
Yes.
Never heard of it. No.
For the people who don't know, Cartoon All-Stars to
That's
the
it.
Rescue.
2 people in the back over there. Listen up.
Marijuana.
Yeah, there you go. It was a 1990 animated TV special about that had its big selling point was it was a bunch of cartoon characters from major cartoons at the time deciding to team up and do something. We didn't know at the time, so people did it up and they watched it. And it turns out it's a hold on, what's the runtime? Half an hour special about your favorite cartoons telling you why you shouldn't smoke weed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, I gotta do this. This is crack.
As funny as it was, no, sadly, this is late 80s weed propaganda. So this is pure Dare Reagan years.
I was there.
Yeah. So, would you like to know the lists of characters that are in this lovely little feature?
Everyone.
Mostly everyone.
Everyone!
Anyway,
Muppet Babies.
the Muppet Babies. There's a cameo from Slimer from the real Ghostbusters. Looney Tunes. The Ninja Turtles, although specifically only Mikey.
Yeah.
DuckTales, Huey, Dewey, and Louie from DuckTales. Winnie and Tigger from New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. All 3 Chipmunks. Garfield. Alf, because yes, folks, this is around the time that Alf had the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but there we go.
It was fun.
And of course, the Smurfs. So,
Who are already a drug trip on their own. So
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, they live in mushrooms. Anyway, so here's the question: it's like, wait, all these characters are talking about marijuana? Why? Keep in mind, this was during the H.W. Bush years. And this was still in the midst of Barbara Bush heading up the DARE program.
Oh, dare.
Ironically, both somehow failed to do its job and yet do another completely different job at the same time.
Hey. Let's give it credit where credit's due. It at least told us that drugs are really expensive.
I was going to say the biggest thing you did, you gave certain people a furry awakening, but that's another story.
That too.
I had to explain to a kid that, because he was like, yeah, no, like you guys, like in your 30s, like you know, dare, like that was like a big thing with you guys, like that's like a nostalgia thing. That's like, he's like, it was this cool thing, and we're like laughing. We're like, no, it wasn't cool in the slightest. In fact, it was a failure. It was an absolute fucking failure. It is remembered, not fondly. It is our personal meme.
Yes.
Yeah, because you got to keep in mind, folks.
It's a fucking in-joke is what it is.
Yeah, like DARE in itself is truly one of the pillars of the failure that is the war on drugs.
Yes.
DARE is the living embodiment of, I learned from watching you, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, because guess what, kids? Most 12-year-olds that this program was known for had no idea drugs existed until DARE showed up. And then when DARE showed up, they got and tells them about all the dangers of drugs. Some kids decided to be square. That's fine. Other kids, being, fucking 12, decide, why are these drugs so bad? I'm going to go find some. And it subsequently made more drug addicts than it meant to do. Fucking whoops!
The dealers are like, I wasn't even trying.
Where the hell did you guys come from?
They just came to me.
What's going on? I don't have enough stock. What's going on?
Mom, I learned about marijuana because of the Ninja Turtles. You're not watching the Ninja Turtles anymore, sweetie.
Yep, that's where you got a lot of that shit.
You got a lot of
You can't talk about this stuff. Yeah, that's where you got one of the more infamous ones is there's an episode of Tiny Toons called Elephant Issues, which has an episode called it was like 3 shorts. They're like all supposed to be tales of advisory, like cautionary tales.
Yeah.
And one of them, the most infamous one, is called Just One Beer, where the kids get into, I think it was Hampton's. Yeah, it was Hampton's dad's. He had beer in the fridge.
Okay.
And they decide to drink it. And it ends with them driving a car off a cliff. But that's the whole thing is literally they go crazy. They get drunk and they start going nuts and shit. And at the very end, it's like, so do you think that'll help? Like, do you think that'll help the kids? Like, oh, hopefully they'll know better than they'll just say no, don't touch it. And then it's like, okay. The episode got banned because parents were upset of the message. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? It's teaching our kids to drink. No, it's not teaching them to drink. It's telling them to, you dumbasses.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why in the late 70s, parents had to have a PSA to say, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
In that case, it was like 3 p.m, but still, it's like, God damn.
No. My favorite thing is that I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things is down here at reception. Apparently, the special pissed off one of the creators. You ready? The Smurfs creator Pelio was upset with Hanna-Barbera's usage of his characters in the special without his permission and refused any further collaborations with them. So it was this fucking special that made Hanna-Barbera lose access to the fucking Smurfs.
The Smurfs are not losers. They enjoy drugs. Wait, did I say that out loud? Take it away, it is mine.
No, my favorite thing as well is apparently in 2015, like 10 years ago, they had an interview with Jim Cummings, which, if you're not familiar with VAs, Jim Cummings is he's been the be-all, end-all voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger for years now. Like, decades.
Yeah.
He admits that he enjoyed the sessions, but he requested Winnie the Pooh's lines in which he talked about drugs be rewritten, stating he's an innocent. It makes no sense for him to even know those words.
Yeah.
And Jim kind of reached the heart of the problem.
Yeah.
Right?
It's kind of hard for this to work when the message is, hey kids, smoke enough weed and your favorite cartoon characters will come out and try to tell you to stop.
Yes.
Including,
Bad, okay?
yeah, including having an intervention via an Alan Menken song.
Look, the Ninja Turtles knowing about drugs, I'm not shocked. It's New York.
Oh, yeah.
Alf knowing about drugs, it's the 80s. The man had a nose for coke. Waka, waka, waka.
Waka, waka, waka.
Mhm.
Permanent Midnight, ladies and gentlemen. Permanent Midnight.
The Looney Tunes knowing about drugs. I mean, considering how much pain they put each other through, that they probably are at least some powerful painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
I still love the line of Bugs going, what's this?
A joint? It's
What
just,
the fuck, Bugs?
like, if the Looney Tunes know what drugs are, well, this explains how goddamn much.
This makes too much goddamn sense.
Although, apparently, fun fact, folks, one more fun fact for this special. Apparently, there's one big thing about the special that actually made history. This was the first time Bugs and Daffy were voiced by someone not named Mel Blanc.
Yep.
Because he had died before this happened.
Yes.
I don't think
They
he
would-
would have done it.
That would be funny, considering Mel Blanc was a heavy smoker. And I think
Yeah.
it was cigarettes that killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the funny part. Waka waka waka, motherfuckers.
By the way, if you're planning, for those who are planning to get the Gex trilogy on Switch, yeah, go ahead and do that and shove that in the face of the people who are complaining about having to spend $30 on it, because I'm like, come on, 30 is fucking nothing.
30 is that?
Yeah, because they're like,
I mean,
it's for nostalgic games. I shouldn't have to pay. I'm like, why shouldn't you?
What?
$10 a pop for those games. That's okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I was expecting someone saying, "Oh, the game's not worth the price." So it's like, what? They make you pay full price or something? Like full 60? And it's like, no, it's 30. I was like, $10 for each. $10 for about 20 to 30-year-old games is not that bad.
No.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah,
What are you
come on.
smoking?
I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get that off of the Nintendo Online. I get that. Get the eShop. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that game soon.
Oh, I know.
They said just don't get it for the Switch 2, or don't get it with the idea to move it over to the Switch 2. Apparently, they're having problems with the game on Switch 2, to the point where even
Funny, the idea that the game giving the Switch 2 problems with the hardware is fucking Gex.
and even Limited Run had to straight up told Nintendo, take it off of your eShop for the Switch 2, please, because it's not working.
Yeah, because we had. Yeah, when we had this idea, we didn't think that the Switch 2 was going to be out yet.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, wait until we fixed it, then put it back up. And apparently Nintendo's complying.
Okay then.
I mean,
That's first.
which is good. I mean, I think it's mainly because well, it's not like it's from the fans. It's request straight from the publisher.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's a time and a half. And anyway, back to very outdated cartoons. Uh, so while I'm familiar with the special, I haven't really watched it in full. I know it from clips. So I am daring myself. Get it? Dare? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I ought to
Anyway,
smack you.
you've heard me say worse on a daily fucking business. That
I
pun is
know,
not
but
working.
that one just, God damn it! It
Yeah.
hits in a specific way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch it and then put it on critic list. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Plug, pluggy, plug.
Or
So yeah, look out for that one. And yeah, that's all I plan for this week. So like, what have
Yeah,
you done?
you can watch that on your own.
Yeah, you
I
got
can't
that.
get the drugs I need.
It's
For
all you.
that.
Yeah.
What you didn't? What you don't want a Puff of Smokes being played by George C. Scott to tell you to keep smoking weed?
George C. Scott urged me to smoke more weed. You act like that's a punishment.
Yeah, no. I was about to say I wouldn't mind General Patton telling me to pack another doobie or two. You feel me? I mean,
Work that wrong, soldier.
it would get me through Day of the Dolphin at least.
It's so stupid. I can't. Like I've already been through it once.
The war on drugs, everybody. It was stupid all around.
Yes.
Anyway, Roy.
The only cool thing that came out of it was the game Narc.
Narc was pretty cool.
Narc was awesome.
Narc was awesome.
Anyway,
it says me.
wow, Craft is popular with the same guy.
Wow, it only comes to this same guy. He's buying all the crack.
I give up. Too little, too late. Talking leg.
He's gonna put a tear in old Rodney Reagan's eye. Granted, it's either that or play Wally Bear in the No Gang.
Oh Jesus! Hanes, Levi's, something. Just get some pants, Dad.
Where are my hands?
It's okay, Wally. My dad doesn't wear pants either. Ashes. Urn falls over, ashes spill. Dad! That's just, that one always kills me. It's perfectly timed.
Yeah. The late 80s, early 90s war on drugs was a fascinating thing, folks.
It was good times, good times.
Anyway, Roy, what have you done this week?
Over at Kit, got to do a little thing called Under 30 Theater. I play little games that you can buy under $30.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. The one I'm working on right now is called A Nice Day for Fishing. What it is you play an NPC who accidentally gets caught up with a very powerful magical totem that takes away all the players of the MMO and makes you the only MMO player.
Huh.
And you're like the fisherman of this small village.
Mm-hmm.
And you only can say, "Morning. Nice day for fishing." That's all you can say. But you're doing this crazy quest to fix this MMO world, to bring everybody back. And you do so through the art of fishing. So you gotta like fish for fish to sell. So you gotta beat bosses through fishing. You can augment your powers through fishing. That's pretty much it. It's a Super Nintendo MMO, and you're just kicking ass and taking names.
Hmm.
The quest giver is a garlic salesman, where he gives you the bait, which is garlic, and you got the smithy who always loses his grandfather's hammer, who gave it to him on his deathbed, and only to him only, because that is his only hammer from his grandfather that righteously belongs to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he loses it in the goddamn well every damn time.
Hmm.
You got a fruit salesman that buys your fish, who has a headstrong wife who's berating him every minute of every conversation you have, and all you can say is, "Morning, nice day for fishing." So right now I'm just on the outskirts of town. I need to leave, but I need to get rid of the ogres, and the only way I can get rid of the ogres is catching a roast-smelling fish. Was never given to the fruit marketer's wife. She's always loved the roast-smelling fish.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am right now. But it's basically going back and forth on waterways, catching fish, finding treasure, sometimes finding powerful rods, powerful hooks. You can go magnet fishing, catch you some debris, sell it to Junker, and then you are now under the beneficiary of the great light. I think it's called the Bart, who looks like a tadpole god, who augments your spell and your strength if you sacrifice fish to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's ridiculously fun, and it it gets you like intensely in there because you have to hit E to catch the fish, but sometimes the fish resists, so you have to diligently block its attacks with Q. Some are faster than the others, and you lose rod strength.
Mm-hmm.
It's like losing HP.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the worst thing is I was supposed to catch this catfish, and it kept on doubling its attack to the point where it's almost there. Boom! Cuts the line. I did that 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, motherfucker! And you just want to catch the motherfucker now. That's how intense it is. Uh,
Okay.
oh, what else? Hell Clock. Hell Clock's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Hell Clock. How do I explain Hell Clock? It's like how can I explain it? It's like I gotta look at my Steam page. Path of Exile. It's like Path of Exile 2, but you are the survivor of the massacre of a massive religious following, and You're trying to save uh, a member of royalty, but you have to do it in 7 minutes.
Okay.
So the whole game is you trying to build up your power
Mm-hmm.
and speed, and each 7 minutes you get deeper and deeper into hell, trying to save this member of royalty.
So it's a roguelike?
Yeah, it is. It's also loosely based off the War Canudos, which is we have democracy in Brazil now. No, we want the monarchy back. A religious leader says, bang, 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 bang. We have a democracy now. All behold our wonderful republic. And it all happens in the farmland of Canudos in Brazil.
Mhm.
And it's supposedly like, oh, everybody's dead now, so you're now going to the depths of hell to save the soul of your the only people of royal blood now. It's fun. It's got some good gameplay.
Mhm.
You can get trinkets to update your speed, your strength, your critical hit. Um, you can buy weaponry and armor to help you out, but it gets really fucking intense. Um, there's this one room where you have to survive 3 waves of zombies, and they're all coming at you from all directions. So unless you don't have a repeating pistol and like the Ring of Swords option, which has like 7 swords hovering around you and attacking anything that comes close, you're fucked. You know, you're worm food. So that's a little fun thing going on. What else? I planned this stuff. Um, got back into the Division 2. It's a lot funner now, and since it doesn't crash the system, going through the Ubi link. I'm going through the Steam link in order to freaking play the game. That's how bad it is. Ubisoft, get your shit together. No, that's fun. They put a new campaign on it, and they put new things on it. I'm afraid to touch because they got this one thing where you can augment a certain ability in your gear set, but it also augments your enemies in some way, shape, or form.
Oh no!
Yeah. So like, I augment my critical hit charge. Okay, motherfucker. We'll give him more speed. Let's see how you like speed induced hyenas, motherfucker. Or I'm raising my armor number. Well, we're raising their gear score in order to do more stabby. So that's a lot of fun. That's all right. What else? I watched the old 1954 Fast and the Furious.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That was a thing. That's where it came from.
I had no idea it was a fucking remake.
Loose remake, yes.
Huh.
Because the original is a guy trying to get out of being falsely accused and murdered by kidnapping a woman who's going to a transcontinental race to Mexico.
Mm.
And hilarity ensues. He actually becomes a driver.
Mm.
And participates in this cross-country race.
I see.
It's produced by Corman. I think it was directed by Corman. I want to say it's directed by Corman. I could be wrong. Nice, quick feature, but very fun. I was gonna try some new Smarty, no sugar Smarties, which I was like, no way.
Really?
Yes, they're like these marshmallow thingies. I seen them, but I haven't tried them yet. But they look like they're the same consistency as maybe like circus peanuts.
Mm.
Like dried out marshmallow or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I was supposed to get them today, but I got the Uber Eats driver picked up the wrong thing, so I'm just distributing it, everything else to everybody else. Starburst sours. So, oh well. And I am drinking Ghost uh, America Pop. America Pop.
Ah, yeah, the seemingly tradition of every fucking drink ever every fucking junk food ever trying to do the bomb plot flavor.
Bomb Pop flavor, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I never knew that was a thing.
Mountain Dew did it.
Mountain Dew did it. Prime did it.
Red, White, and Dew.
Yeah, Ghost did it.
Would you say that this is the male equivalent of cinnamon pumpkin spice?
No, it's more it's more trying to hit a certain tinge of nostalgia for the main demographic that these type of stuff go for,
Okay.
which is mostly like dudes 18 to 35.
I didn't know it was a thing between dudes of 18 to 35.
Well, yeah,
well,
Bob
Bob
never really
Bob's-
went away.
Yeah,
It's not
no, I still buy them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very specific thing because Bomb Pops now are just kind of probably done well by marketing by Popsicle or whoever owns that brand in particular. It's just sort of it's now associated with summer, with American summer specifically, Fourth of July and all that. So
Mhm.
it's sort of the thing that kind of it's meant to pique your little nostalgia brain and just be like, "Ooh, I remember that flavor."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they're trying to be like Flavor Aid, right?
Yeah, it's sort of the same reason why certain energy drink would team up with stuff like Warheads or Sour Patch Kids or
Right.
like other like candy, like branded candies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I will say though, I have had the Ghost Sour Patch Kids Red Berry.
How is that?
Pretty decent, actually. I liked it, and I don't. Well, I can't really drink a lot of energy because if I do, my kidneys would kill me. But when I occasionally do, the Ghost is actually pretty good, at least from what I tasted.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the Welch's grape.
Yeah,
It tastes like Welch's grape.
yeah, there's that one, and then I did try the orange creamsicle one.
Yeah, I'm at odds with that one.
It was okay. I think it's because I think the problem is that flavor is so weirdly specific. It's really hard to get.
Right. You're trying to do an orange creamsicle about saying you're doing an orange creamsicle.
Yeah, like the only product I've seen so far that does it at least halfway decently is the Coke Orange Vanilla, but even then, you have to get it like at the right time and like the right amount. You probably best at a fountain, but with like the right amount of syrup and the right amount of carbonation. It's just like it's a very weirdly particular thing.
Like the theater or the drive-in.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
That's yes. We do need drive-in flavors though.
Yeah, don't worry. I got those giant Coca-Cola freestyle machines. You can put any flavor or type of thing you want.
Right. We need pickle flavors. We need pickle soda. Y'all have pickle soda down there?
I think you can get it, but it's going to be in those specialty soda shops. It's not like in Circle K's or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that. You know, but there was a time where drive-ins did do pickle sodas. They carbonated brine.
I'll never understand you creatures.
No, sadly, the closest you're going to get to that down here is that if you go to Sonic, order a Dr. Pepper with extra pickles in it.
They do that?
They do that.
Yeah, they do that.
Huh. I'm not grossed out or repelled. I'm oddly curious.
There are pickle sodas you can find around. There's fucking pickle pops.
Well, I know the pickle pops, yeah.
There's all sorts of shit. Then yeah, I've seen pickle sodas in certain little shops and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's
Um,
also like the weirdly flavored pickles, like the cotton candy pickles and like the hot sauce flavored pickles.
I don't understand you.
Cotton candy pickles.
I don't, I don't, I don't understand you pickle lovers. I just don't. I don't fucking get it. I
Well,
don't get it.
brine is tasty.
I like pickling stuff, like onions and
Right.
jalapenos
You like
and stuff like that. But I can't do pickles. I don't like.
you
pickles.
put them on your burger?
If they're already there,
You're not gonna
take them off.
right.
But I do not seek them out.
I'll be honest, the most I ever really use brine for is like marinades and things like that. I don't
Oh
even,
no. I used to use it in the potato salad. I used to use it in the deviled eggs. Um, Gave it a little tang to it.
yeah, because the thing is that pickle brine is mostly a solution of salt, water, sugar, and vinegar most of the time.
And dill or garlic.
Lots of either of those, true.
hmm
So
It's a nice probiotic, and it makes your hair glisten.
Just something about pickles. I don't understand. I just don't like them.
Do you like cucumbers?
I like them okay, but they gotta be used.
Do you
specifically.
salt your cucumber?
Sometimes.
You're halfway there.
yeah, it's cucumber just doused in salt and vinegar mainly,
Water and dill and garlic.
and a little bit of sugar.
I also
That
just don't
too.
like the smell of pickles either.
You don't like the smell of. Is it
No.
just like the kosher dill or like the sweetened?
Just any pickles. Pickles just do not. They don't appeal. They don't appeal to me.
I mean, depending on the brine, you can definitely smell like the vinegar or the garlic they use on it, depending on
Yeah.
what they use and the proportions, especially.
The way we used to do it when we grew our own pickles. We like took like a bouquet of dill, smashed it in there, put like a whole garlic in there. I think we put like a jalapeno in there too. Closed it up, and we turned it upside down to let the good taste go upwards.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so you don't let all the mixing and settle at the bottom. Yeah.
Yes, and then you turn them down and split it up. You'll get it all evenly in there.
Yeah, it's probably the easiest thing to do, like fermenting and things like that, but it's kind of the less interesting one. Like, if you're gonna do fermenting and do the full setup, I'm not gonna lie to you. Part of me wants me to tell you, just say fuck the pickles, go straight to the booze.
That too.
Like,
Although you got to do the kimchi too.
the kimchi works as well. If you have real patience, you can try to do gochujang because that'll take you months.
Gochujang, yeah, gochujang.
Yeah, no, it's like the best thing I can suggest for people who get in fermentation is like if you got the equipment and the sterilization and the patience, make the mead. It's so goddamn worth it.
Yeah, I mean the honey's already there. You just got to do the rest.
Yeah.
Mead is good, but it does give me a migraine.
Don't
Depends on the mead.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think it's something about the fermenting process. It just gives me a migraine.
Well, I mean, it is essentially
It's a semi-allergic reaction.
You're drinking fermented sugar.
yeah, fermented sugar. You're also drinking like really, still technically good for you, but you're still drinking bacteria at the end of the day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know. Mead headaches are a thing. I've looked into it. That is a thing.
Rum might be your more speed in terms of fermented sugar.
Yeah, because that's mostly just pure sugar cane if you can get it.
Or up north, you go to up north, the United States, it's beet.
Yeah. The only thing I don't recommend you drink or try to do fermented is fucking kombucha. That shit's disgusting.
I never understood kombucha.
It's
Cafe, sure. Not kombucha.
kombucha is essentially kind of fermented tea.
It is.
Now you don't
And,
care for tea.
and
So-
it sucks.
As one who drinks tea. Ugh.
As a south, as a proud, as a Texan boy who loves his sweet tea, fucking gross. I tried. There's two types of teas that I tried once and never and try not to try again because they both sucked. There was the kombucha and the fucking yerba mate.
Oh,
That
no. Are you doing it in the can? Or are you
that's the
doing
only
it
one.
old school?
That was the only one near me, dude. I can't do it old school.
You can't do it old school. That's a
I know.
whole new different world than from the can. Are you familiar with yerba mate? Ookami.
No, I have no idea what you guys are talking about now.
It looks like you're drinking a grass pile in a cup. But it actually is good tea. Here, let's see if I can find it.
Yeah,
It's tea that comes with its own equipment.
yeah. It kind of got big as sort of one of the many alternatives to energy drinks.
Drinks, yes. Because it has a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's like a lot of natural caffeine, a lot of good probiotics and things like
Mm.
that.
You get like a special straw for it. Because you got to drink through all this grass. Guess that's what it is. You're putting hot water to grass.
Yeah.
And I am showing it in the chat at Discord. Hi, Discord. How you doing? Keep an eye on the chat. Am I in the chat? No, I'm not in the chat. Hold on. Right here. Comes with its own cup. Comes with its own straw. Sometimes you have built-in sippy cups.
Yeah, it's a very particular thing out of Paraguay, I think.
Uruguay.
Yeah.
Some people drink like small cups. Some people like do the picture like you would like buy at convenience stores. So they're like drinking like bales of tasty grass.
It is essentially kind of, for layman's terms, it's kind of Paraguayan matcha is the
Mhm.
best way to
Yeah.
describe it.
I see.
And you have to like gently pack it in to get maximum flavor. Make sure the straw fits in. Pack that in.
You can tell this is a subject Roy knows very, very well.
Oh, I love yerba mate. I'd get the yerba mate if I could. The old school yerba mate, not from the can. The can's cheating.
Yeah.
Hmm. Anyway, now to our featured presentation.
Yeah, we spent our resident hour plus ranting about random shit.
Yeah.
Yes. William Castle films. Who loves them? I do.
They're a good,
Nice.
they're a
Castle's
good
cool.
time.
They're a fun time. The first director to use gimmicks to sell his movies. I think all but one movie didn't have a gimmick, and that won an Oscar.
There's an irony in that somewhere.
It is. It is. So, what kind of gimmicks? Joy buzzers, uh, glow in the dark skeletons,
Voting.
Plants in the
rigged
audience.
plants in the audience, rigged voting, uh, anthropomorphic 3D. He went out.
Vinyl
Go ahead.
vinyl stickers simulating a dude who had pissed himself.
So, yes. False certificates for death or have fake nurses wait, standing by in case someone fainted. That had to be awkward, though. He fainted, and you're a nurse. I just play one on TV. What?
Well, he's fucked.
He's fucked. So, let's start with probably one of his more notable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, 1959's The Tingler. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
I'm William Castle, and I feel obligated to warn you about the next attraction you will see at this theater. The picture is The Tingler, which I directed. And for the first time in motion picture history, members of the audience, including you, will actually play a part in the picture. You will feel some of the physical reactions, the shocking sensations experienced by the actors on the screen. I guarantee that The Tingler has more shots per minute than my last film, The House on Haunted Hill. But don't be alarmed. You can protect yourself. When you see the picture, you will be told, and remember the instruction, how you can guard yourself from attack by The Tingler. And now may I show you a few scenes from The Tingler?
All right, The Tingler, 1959. Let me get to my notes here. Already seen that. Go away. 1959, Buck 22, directed by William Castle, written by Robbie White. Let's bring that down. Starring Vincent Price, Judith Evelyn, Daryl Hickman, Patricia Cutts, Pamela Lincoln, Philip Coleridge, Leon Alton, Gertrude Astor, Richard Barthelmess, Gail Booney, William Castle himself, Pat Colby, and a cast of tens. An obsessed pathologist discovers and captures a parasite creature that grows in your back when fear grips its host. The only way to shrink it and kill it is letting out screams. Ookami. Dr. Kayak, your first thoughts?
So apparently screams from pre-recording work. Doc, bag it!
Let's see. Find tapes used in haunted houses. Okay.
Yeah, preferably the scratchy records.
I mean, it's at your fucking feet, Doc. Fucking bag it!
Grab it!
Oh,
Ah! Ah! Is it working? Ah!
yeah, got it.
Good. Just tie it up real tight. Set it next to you. We'll toss it in my office later.
There
Yeah,
we go.
no. Apparently pre-recorded screams work. Cool. I watched that thing fucking thump. Like it freaked out, and then it just kind of went, I'm done. Like, okay.
Yeah, it looked like you went into epileptic fits there for a second.
Anyways, yeah, so the Tingler. This is a thing.
Well, yeah. This is when, how can I explain it? 1959, that's when, actually, when we were exploring atomic monsters, Europe was getting all ghouly and ghosty,
Mhm.
and how do I say it? I want to say
Yeah, it's
Castle.
where the cops get there, I guess.
I know, right? Before they realized I killed someone for the Tingler. No, he sort of brought that sort of ghoulish concept back and tried to add some science to it,
Mhm.
with the pathologist finding that there's a parasite that grows within us when we are gripped with fear, and the only way to stop it and destroy it is verbal release.
I'll
So
give it. It's clever.
it is clever, yeah. And they didn't play him off as sort of mad or anything, just very naturally inquisitive.
Yeah.
You know? He was doing it for mankind, he just wanted to realize what we were doing for mankind.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And he goes through like the process of how he could possibly capture the Tingler through the use of a lysergic diaphragm acid. What's it? Diacid?
Something like that. I can't remember.
LSD.
Yes. All
Yes.
I remember is that he went
At
through
the-
a lot of lengths to prove this thing real.
Yes.
To even like only to abandon everything after he had gone to these extreme fucking lengths. It's like, dude, you even killed someone. You drugged people. You did a lot of things you really shouldn't have fucking done. And then afterwards, you're like, oh no, what have I done? And then it's like, no, you don't get to backtrack from that.
You can't do that. You gotta follow through. Everyone's telling him, you gotta follow through. He's like, no, we are not yet to know these things. And
Yeah,
I'm like, bitch!
Yeah. He gets away with it.
He gets away with it, yeah.
Yeah, he gets away with all of it. Like,
Back that.
yeah, it's an interesting movie, and of course you got Vincent Price. Love that man.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He does it all very well, and he's actually, I think, probably the most entertaining part of this.
Yeah. I mean, you do have Judith Evelyn, who had seen fame before. She was in Rear Window as Miss Love. I want to say Lost Love or Lonely Heart. Miss Lonely Heart.
Mm.
Yeah. So they decided to use her for this, for which she used American Sign Language quite accurately.
Is
Yeah.
this true?
Mm-hmm. So it's basically, this guy's a criminal pathologist who volunteers to be execution doctor. Guy who's coming to identify a body is interested in his work, invites him a cup of coffee to his silent theater, meets the wifey, finds out the wifey can't stand the sight of blood to the point that she goes catatonic. Vincent Price is like, well, I need to go back to my work. You know? Oh, I've got acid. Maybe that will work. Oh, no, I'm having a bad trip. What am I to do? And his assistant brings him back down easy. By the way, check out the trip. Much more accurate representation of tripping out.
Yeah, well, this is at least one big thing you got to give props for. That this is actually technically the first Technically,
Yeah.
I believe it is the first depiction of LSD.
Yes.
Because this was back when, since it was still technically an acid, so it was not it was not criminalized yet.
Hmm. They were looking for a way to cure shell shock.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then, hey, I know. Since we're after this creature. Well, no, he scares his wife first with a blank, gun full of blanks. Sees that he can actually grow this creature and watch it disseminate back.
Oh, okay. So I blinked. I guess. Okay. I think I had to take care of something, so I missed.
Yeah, you were taking care of something.
So
His
I
wife
missed.
was being a bitch, so he decided to scare her with blanks.
Okay.
Watched.
Because I thought
Watch.
he actually killed someone. I
No,
didn't realize
no,
that she
no,
died.
no.
Okay.
No. He was just trying to induce fear, so he can grow the tingler and then
Yeah.
watch it recede. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, I'm the deaf mute. I can get the tingle from. Let me inject her with acid and watch what happens." She has a bad trip, not realizing he also not realizing that her husband is trying to drive her nuts,
Yep.
and it double plus works. Kills her out of shock, gets a real live tingler out. His wife, the doctor's wife, drugs him, tries to get him killed with the tingler. His daughter saves him by screaming. Tingler was like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah."
Yeah.
So the doctor decides to put the tingler back into Miss Ryerson Higgs' body. The husband says, "Oh no, you don't," and the doctor says, "Yeah, oh yes, I do." And then the tingler escapes from its tin box and into the silent movie theater, and then it attacks everyone. And Dr. Champion's like, "Don't be afraid. Just scream to keep it going." And that's when the buzzers come on. Beep 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 beep. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we capture it because it's all, "Oh my god, everybody screamed," and we put it back in the body. Again.
No, it came after the husband.
Oh yeah, he killed the husband,
Yep.
and then we put it back in the body.
Yeah.
For some reason he couldn't scream. Reasons, you know.
Yeah.
And that was it. Short and sweet.
Kind of simple, really. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was pretty much a build up to joy buzzers in the seats.
Yeah, and that being the big gimmick for this movie in particular, Percepto.
Percepto. I'm perceiving my butt getting tingled by the low voltage.
Yeah, so a big thing that would happen was that before every showing,
Ooh.
Castle would have technicians go into the theater and loosely wire up the seats with electrical charges. Nothing too fatal, like you already said, a joy buzzer. So during the certain scene in the movie theater where the Tingler is roaming around the movie theater, people will get little shocks and be like, "Oh shit, Tingler!"
Some people probably found themselves.
They did, yeah. Anyways.
Whoa.
And the violet wand was born. But anyway, wasn't there like a test they were trying to do, and they did test it in the wrong time? It was during like the Sister Bernadette sort of things.
Maybe.
Like it was a nun feature, and the projections said, "What if I hit this?" And it hits the random chair, and everyone having a religious experience through joy buzzers. Ooh.
I can feel
Euphoria.
the Lord inside me.
Yes.
Jesus.
That Sunday was special, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Jesus rode in on an ass.
Christ.
no, it's a nun story of Audrey Hepburn. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so um, oh, the thing about William Castle is that this is B movie driving fodder at its finest. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Butts.
Like-
He said butts.
Butts.
Butts. This.
Christ alive. Anyway, so it's whether you would like it or not. It kind of depends on your tolerance for like classic 50s monster B movies, really. Granted,
Oh.
this is definitely on the higher end of those certain type of movies. Like this is not full like robot monster,
No.
teenagers for outer space. Would you kind of steal something from our other podcast, The Red Light? Would you see this as an essential sort of 50s monster movie at all?
Essential. I wouldn't put it up there with Gojira. Wouldn't put it up there with the American kaiju films.
Yeah, like
But
I
it
think
was-
I found it on like those 50 or 50 plus like sets of classic horror films.
well, yeah, because technically, as far
the
as I'm
Tingler?
aware, most of
Yeah. I think I've
Most of-
seen it on those sets.
from what I understand, most of William Castle's movies are now public domain.
well, no, they're owned by Sony.
Are they all owned by Sony?
Most of them, yeah.
I think I've seen this one though. I think I remember seeing this.
You've
one
probably
before.
seen the William Castle collection put out by Sony.
I also think Mill Creek, the company that always did a lot of those like massive comps, I think they were owned by Sony as well. Last time I checked.
Oh no, they do stuff for Sony. They're
Mhm.
not owned by Sony.
They're not owned by Sony.
They're not owned by Sony. No.
Hmm.
It's like with the Ultraman stuff. They're not owned by Toei,
Mhm.
but they do stuff for Toei.
Right.
You know?
So I would say maybe second tier, maybe.
Second tier, sure. I would say it's a return to creepy form with baby steps because you remember also Bawa came unto himself with the Mask of the Demon, aka Black Sunday.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Around this time, we were starting to get more European horrors by way of K. Murray dubbing.
Yeah, there's that.
You also got Cinematographica Absa coming in thanks to K. Murray.
Yeah. Of course, by this point, we had already started getting some Japanese stuff because.
We were always getting Japanese stuff. It's just,
Well, yeah,
it was more widespread.
Yeah, more specifically, Godzilla had already came out. I think Rodan might have already coming up
Rodan had come out, yeah.
at that point.
Mhm.
So,
And we were doing our own kaiju films with them.
Great
beginning
Spider
of the end. Great Spider.
Invasion, yeah.
Spider Invasion. Black Scorpion. Negro Scorpion.
You know what I would call this? I would
Hmm.
call it essential Sunday viewing.
It's Svengoolie fare.
It's
Yeah.
kind of perfect.
Either in the night or the early afternoon. Like literally just turn on.
Just
Just
turn
turn on a
on.
handful of black and white,
Mhm.
fun little films,
Mhm.
and this is into the mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a resurgence that was happening, and Castle just happened to catch whiff of it and says, "I'm in, motherfucker." You know,
I can make moolah for this one.
with that, I could just do anything. Let's make moolah, and you guys, we can make moolah together, and we all make moolah. You know,
Yeah.
and he's just getting his foot in the door. What was going on at the time? Um, House on Haunted Hill was a bit more better than this one, though.
No, yeah. I mean, so
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's because House on Hill's pace was so tightly knit and like tightly focused.
Right. It felt like they were actually wanting to do a movie where the Tingler, they were doing it just for the gimmick.
Mhm.
There are some low points, yeah.
Mhm.
Like one big thing though, I will say I didn't other than for the obvious scene with like the blanket and everything, I didn't really see the point of the wife kind of trying to like kill him. Like that whole conflict happening. Because it just seemed like to add a random complication just to get to the scene.
Yeah. Just to get the Tingler involved somehow.
Yeah, like there's that, plus the whole thing about like how the wife is the younger sister's legal guardian, and there's like an inheritance thing involved. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of
That's
gets
just.
lost in the shuffle.
It does. It does.
Yeah, I forgot about all of that.
Yeah,
See. Um.
like there again. To add to that, there was really no real point for the assistant to be the younger sister's lover, other than to have a reason for him to be there, other than be the assistant.
Yeah, he was just the assistant.
Yeah, he was just kind of there.
Yeah, he was there to bring the come down.
Pretty much. Like that's the kind of thing. It's like if you focus only on the main thing, it's a fun time. But if you remember the other things, it just kind of comes strangely convoluted, but also weirdly less effort.
Yeah, it's like you notice this brand new shiny toy, and while you notice this brand new shiny toy, certain pieces of furniture are coming closer or going farther apart. And then once you look up and you see all this, he's like, "What's the point of this? What's going on?"
Yeah.
You know, and you are confused why this is happening.
And the funny thing is, it's like, oh, that must be the movie's round wrong. No, it was like a $1.32.
No, buck 22,
Buck
buck
22.
22.
Yeah.
It was tight.
Yeah, it was tight. So it's like, I mean, maybe he needed to fill in time, but it's like you could have just cut pieces out and had it strictly be about the pathologist and the couple that owns the movie theater. And I
Mhm.
think you could have made it to a tight, probably $1.15, maybe.
Yes. Now let me throw this out. Could he have done the movie to make money to do another movie?
Maybe,
Makes sense.
maybe, but also the big thing is that the gimmick is a little more would probably be a little more expensive to do
Right.
than like House on Haunted Hill or 13 Ghosts or even Sardonicus, which we'll get
Mm-hmm.
to. Like it seems like the gimmick. This is definitely one of those projects, probably like a lot of William Castle projects, where the gimmick came first and the story came fifth.
Second, fifth, yeah.
Yeah.
Fifth.
And those voting cards cost him a mint.
They were probably just pieces of paper with print.
But he got that.
I totally believe that it cost him a lot to get that paper. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, while William Castle is not king of the penny pinchers, that is still to this day Roger Corman. He was up there when it came to certain things.
He may have splashed the cash, but he splashed the cash responsibly.
Yeah, like he is, like he's not full on like penny pinching like a Corman or Ray Dennis Steckler, but he's definitely not free and loose with the money.
Right. He is in a monocle.
Yeah,
Where you're making your own bologna sandwiches. You know?
pretty much.
So what I think is that, yeah, you could have cut out some of this and then just filled it in with scenes of like just B footage of Price just playing with the Tingler.
You can see that, like make it like a true like
Absolutely.
like make Price seem like a true mad scientist and not just
Or like
dude who
play,
stumbled onto shit.
I just
Play
want
the-
to see him like poking at it and going Gucci Gucci Gucci.
Is he Give Vincent Price props. He would sell the shit out of that.
Oh, he would sell the shit out of it. Yeah.
Gets a collar and takes it for a walk. I can totally see him doing that.
Kind of. Yeah. This is my attack, Tingler. Don't try. And you have a mugger trying to attack him, and Tingler just takes him out.
Yeah,
Quick Tingler.
but I think it didn't really. It was that would kind of be a disservice to the fact that they really tried to make Vincent shit that he does to his wife and to the couple aside. They didn't really make him like a mad scientist.
No, just really curious scientist.
Yeah, but he's not like inhuman about it. Like he's not really impersonal as much as like a Dr. Frankenstein would be.
He killed a woman with the Tingler.
I mean, I said impersonal, not immoral.
Correctly.
No, what I mean by impersonal, I mean
He just got lucky. The husband was helping him out.
No, my thing when I say impersonal, I mean he definitely shows emotion about his findings, and he expresses regret.
Mm-hmm.
When like most mad scientist movies take from the Frankenstein thing of the mad scientist is about progress and progress only, damn the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're the subscriber of the Peter Cushing Dr. Frankenstein, where if you don't help me, Carl, I will have my wife do it, and I will teach her science. You don't want me to teach you science, do you, Carl? Because I will teach her all the science, Carl. From biology to zoology.
Oh God!
And medicine in between.
I'm not gonna lie, the way you say that, it sounds like a more serious version of the old llamas with hats cartoons.
Okay.
Carl!
Carl! You gotta help me, Carl. I'll teach my wife the science.
Carl, you can't just take dead body parts and try to make modern man. Well, why not? Because it's wrong, Carl.
No, I don't think that is.
No, I don't think so. No.
Carl, why is there an extra set of human hands? I need a little snack. Carl! Only on Starlite you can talk about William Castle and llamas with hats.
Yes.
Yeah, no, or if you haven't actually seen Llamas with Hats, you need to. It's actually hilarious.
Gotcha.
That's a Flash cartoon favorite. That's an old internet favorite.
It actually recently got a full ending.
Oh, okay.
It was funded. It was funded by Patreon and I think Kickstarter. They got an actual ending, like in the episode. It's insane. The ending to that is insane.
Well, yeah, yes, of course. You can't help but have that cartoon have an insane cartoon of a guy who summoned a portal just to have an endless supply of human hands. Where do you get all those hands, Carl? Just this portal I found. Carl!
When you crave hands.
You know what, Carl? I'm done. I can't even go. Oh, come on. No, Carl, I'm done.
Do you want me to teach my wife the science?
God,
stab him 30. He stabbed a man 37 times, 38 times. Carl, I know it was not fatal. No, Carl, that kills people. Oh.
But yeah, I get what you're saying about Price's character as the doctor.
Yeah. So it's like if he could have made it more like a classic, like mad scientist, not give a shit about anything except progress, but there's at least a little bit of more of an interesting twist on it than just trying to be Dr. Frankenstein clone number 747.
Right. No, there are Dr. the animator dude,
West.
Dr. Herbert West,
Yeah.
playing with the laws of nature that really shouldn't be laws of nature, for it impedes us from exploration.
I'm not gonna lie. Now I just imagine how William Castle would do the head giving head scene, and I would love it.
Perceptovision.
Like, would it be like?
Snyder.
Would it be like a? Would it be like a cutout, like like a multi-exposure thing, where it's like the guy, like there's the head on it, or would it be like a dummy head with like a little animatronic tongue in it?
Yeah. Just a. Yeah.
And Dr. Herbert West would be played by Dick Miller for some reason.
Oh, you sorry little man, trying to play like you're a god, but when you're a child. No.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If Price was gonna, although he loved his wife, but the man was he's a little bit gay. Little bit gay. I could absolutely.
He's a bit gay.
A bit gay. I could absolutely see him if he's going to play Frankenstein.
I mean,
just the tiniest bit.
He's going to make Rocky. Let's be honest.
He'll mind getting a drink at a gay bar.
Yeah.
He's not going to be flirting. He's not going to be hitting on people. Just don't mind getting a drink at a gay bar.
This is the man who did a campaign for wine coolers.
Yes.
Price is an amazing man. Rest in peace, you beautiful bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it's also, strangely enough, those wine cooler commercials is not the weirdest place I have ever heard Vincent Price's voice.
You heard his cooking. You heard his audio cookbook.
No, but send me that because I'm interested. No, I was thinking more of the I was thinking more of the toy that was like a little quiz thing that used 8-track tapes.
Okay.
Yeah. I found that out. Shout out to Techmoan. He does some like great stuff on like new and old tech. I found that out via him. It's like it was this Milton Bradley thing, which was essentially kind of a 4-player quiz game, but the quizzes were on 8-track tapes.
Yes.
This would have been like the mid-late 70s.
Mid to late 70s. Mm-hmm.
So, like each time you select an answer, it would switch to a track on the tape to say if you were right or wrong.
Very genius.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing is that for Vincent Price, they got him to host a movie quiz tape, but it was just general movie quiz, not horror-specific movie quiz.
Right. Well, he's a movie star, so it fits.
Well, yeah, but it's just Vincent Price is known for very specific horror movies, even by the 70s. So it's like...
He's also the voices the villain in one of my all-time favorite, like top favorite Disney films.
Black Cauldron?
No, he was in The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, yeah.
He is Professor Ratigan.
Ratigan, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, I have been lulled into gentle sleeps by that man's voice for a long time.
I could do you guys one better.
Honestly, that's not even the weirdest animated movie he was in.
I already know the one.
Did you know Vincent Price called baseball games?
Really?
He was an avid Twins fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's like a couple games floating around where he's calling the games.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
That would be surreal, but that would be kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He was a big Twins fan. Had signatures from the team and everything. Every team, every year, you get a signature.
Which is ironic because he was a St. Louis boy.
Right? St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, Cardinals fan. I thought he was a Twins fan. Because he was born in Minnesota. He's a Minnesota boy.
So bottom line, Tingler is all right. It's entertaining.
It's okay.
Price is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're watching the movie for anything, you're watching it for Vincent Price, the Tingler itself, and the scene with the Percepto. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
To put an end to this, would you catch it in the theater at the time? Would you get the physical media, watch it on streaming, or forget it altogether?
Keep your joy buzzers away from my bum.
This bum bum don't go buzz buzz.
No, it doesn't.
Don't get fresh with my cheeks.
Oh God. I'd watch it. I mean, like I said, I'd watch it on like maybe streaming, but like honestly, like if it's on TV, I'll watch it. And there are some movie channels that might show it.
It's Sunday viewing, as you said.
Like Epic's Drive-In or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would do it. Maybe not Turner, but definitely Epic's maybe.
Turner would do it. Turner would do it.
I could see TCM doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Turner would do it. Back when TNT, it would have done it there.
Oh yeah, no, this would be a Joe Buzz staple.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What about you, Doc?
The movie itself, I would get in physical just because I love the copy. However, I'm not Ookami. I would love to experience it with Percepto at least once.
Let's see, we go back in time or try to replicate the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that would be fun, I think.
Yeah.
Up
the voltage.
You would sit down in the seat and be like, "My ass is ready."
Well,
my body is ready.
I think of the story that John Waters, one of our saints, John Waters said, where he would every time this movie would come around, he would be the kid who would intentionally look for the Percepto rigged seats, so he could have that experience almost every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, kids, we're talking about when we talk about John Waters and William Castle. William Castle is God, basically, according to John Waters.
Yes, William Castle is God. John Waters is just his messenger, his prophet.
John Waters, that does not surprise me at all that he would look for those.
It's basically,
like, you keeping an eye out to make sure you don't get shocked? No, I want it.
Yes.
To make a long story short, William Castle is God, and I guess you could argue Russ Meyer is the devil. Either way, you're gonna have a fun time.
Yes. So, shall we go to the next one?
Yes.
Let's fast forward a couple years. Big sensation in Colombia. William Castle decides to get a little bit more in depth, get a little bit more European with his movie set. And he creates this baby here. Ladies and gentlemen, 1961's Mr. Sardonicus. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
For years, I have searched for a unique way whereby a motion picture audience can actually decide the climax of a picture. I have found such a way. My latest picture, Mr. Sardonicus, offers something no audience has ever had before: the power to determine the fate of a character on the screen, the power to punish. In ancient Rome, spectators could decree life or death to a gladiator by indicating thumbs up or thumbs down. During the French Revolution, the mobs could condemn a man by merely shouting, "To the guillotine." In the early West, vigilantes took the law into their own hands. Today, for the first time, the awful power to punish will be yours. After you see the evil events that made Mr. Sardonicus what he was, you will decide what should be done to him. You will now see some scenes from the picture. The face of Mr. Sardonicus will not be shown. because I realize that some people in this audience might be adversely affected by it. Those of you who come to see Mr. Sardonicus will understand why.
Mr. Sardonicus. What makes his name strike terror?
Sardonicus. Why were you frightened?
Sir, you would not understand. You are young. You do not yet have daughters.
Why does his wife live in abject fear?
If you do not heal him, he will punish me.
Sure he wouldn't beat you.
His cleverness knows a more hideous torture.
What strange attraction did young women have for him? What secrets are hidden behind his doors? Mr. Sardonicus. His deeds formed a fabric of nightmares. His face, the face of Sardonicus, can be described only in the eyes of its beholders.
Mr. Sardonicus, in spite of all his cruelties, some people will think he deserves mercy. Others will feel that no punishment could be too severe. When you come to see Mr. Sardonicus, you will receive a ballot like this. At a certain point in the picture, you will vote thumbs up or thumbs down. His punishment will depend on the result of your vote.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Sardonicus, 1961, coming in at $1.29. Directed by William Castle, written by Ray Russell, starring Oscar Homolka, Ronald Lewis, Andre Dalton, Guy Rolfe, Vladimir Sokolov, Erica Peters, Lorna Hanson, Elsie Burkett, William Castle as himself, Constance Cavendish, and a cast of tens. A mysterious and cruel Baron, whose face has become frozen in a horrifying grin, demands a prominent London physician apply experimental treatments on him to restore his face. Now, before we start, Ookami, Doc, you have seen Guy Rolfe before. I want to know if you know who he is. He was in a very prominent series of films. Don't look either. I'm watching.
Too late.
I didn't even what?
No, let's see if Ookami knows. Guy Rolfe became very popular in the 80s, a long series of films as a popular character. Can you guess what that character was?
Not even remotely.
Direct to video. Started on theater, but it was direct to video afterwards.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, I shall share. Guy Rolfe was known to everybody as Monsieur Andre Toulon.
From Puppet Master.
Oh dear God. Okay, that was gonna be my guess.
Specifically,
When you
though,
started
Roy.
in theaters and went to.
Roy. Specifically, though, he was Toulon from 3 onward.
Onwards, yes.
Yeah,
Toulon's
1 and 2 were in
Revenge.
theaters.
Mhm.
But he was also in other Charlie Band movies. He was in Dolls,
Dolls.
Yes,
and
he was.
he was well. This one is a little more well known. He was also in The Bride,
Mm-hmm.
which is the Frankenstein,
Frankenstein with Sting.
the Frankenstein movie with Sting and Clancy Brown.
Which, interesting enough, is grouped in with the rock noir of the European sector in the 80s.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, back to Sardonicus. Ladies and gentlemen, your first thoughts.
That vote is more rigged than most fucking reality TV voting bullshit or elections, for that matter.
It's more
Like,
rigged than bully beatdown.
Oh God,
oh
don't
my
remind me of Bully
God,
Beatdown.
Bully
Jesus.
Beatdown. Jesus, I forgot about that.
So you probably would think seeing that poll was like, wait, were there two endings for this?
No.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, we will keep the door open.
But more than likely, it was probably complete and utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
For two specific reasons. Number one, the fact is that William Castle kind of guides the farm a little bit to make you want to do a thumbs down. No question. Number two,
very fucking heavy-handed.
very heavy-handed.
Very, very heavy-handed.
This was still during the Hays Code. And one of the big proponents of the Hays Code is that the bad guys must be succinctly punished at the end. So, even if there was the alternate ending where Mr. Sardonicus lives, the Hays Code would not allow it.
No,
So,
even if he redeemed himself. I mean, the way it's built, the way Sardonicus' story is built, yeah, he did something wrong, but it was all for the right reasons.
yeah,
Kinda.
but also the Hays Code is not as forgiving. When it comes
Forgiving,
to
yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the Comic Code Authority.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, while this was technically towards near the end of the
Right.
Hays Code,
Mm-hmm.
the Hays Code would officially be dead by 67.
Right.
We're still in the midst of Hays Code. So, as far as we're aware, this whole
Sardonicus
thing is
got paid.
entirely bullshit.
It is. Yeah.
Anyway, other than that, this is not a bad movie. It's definitely not William Castle's best, I guess.
Well, give the man credit. He was doing something different outside of medical sci-fi
Or creature feature, or
Mm-hmm.
paranormal psych. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. It's just that unfortunately, a lot of Mr. Sardonicus comes off weirdly generic.
Well, not for his time.
True, but
Looking in hindsight, yes.
Hindsight, yes, but also for William Castle, because there's bits and pieces of creativity in there. The whole idea of the ghoul mythos being used, and the fate, and the way Sardonicus' face is frozen, and the look of it, that is very, very William Castle.
Yes.
Otherwise, it is kind of, I don't know. The movie weirdly reminded me of the most came out like 2 years later, which is Roy, one of our favorites, The Terror.
The Terror, yep.
The Corman classic with Boris Karloff and the French Jack Nicholson.
Yes. His
And
name
by
was
that I mean Jack
Jack.
Nicholson doing no such thing as a French accent.
Yeah, I'm just a California boy here, serving the French regiment in Napoleonic arms.
As you do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it also doesn't really help that, like with the Tingler, while the title role and the main guy is the most interesting part, aside from one exception, a lot of the side casts are just not really that interesting.
Oh, come now. Kroll was very interesting.
Kroll's the exception. I mean,
Okay.
like I'm
You
talking specifically of our romantic leads.
This is
well,
all YouTube because this film left no impression on me.
Braun was a hammer guy, so I was at least interested. He was sort of a poached hammer guy.
You can kind of tell because he is very much trying to do that sort of hammer British theatricality,
Hmm.
but it definitely feels like he's not allowed to fully dive into it.
Right. He's very hindered.
Yeah. Then Audrey Dalton, God bless her, she's just kind of there.
Yeah, she feels like she was just put there by studio mandate.
Yeah.
Nothing against her. She actually does the work. You
Yeah,
know?
it's just unfortunately it definitely seems like a role that no one was really interested in writing or making Municipal Castle.
Hmm. All she was all that made her interesting is he married for money. Not her choice.
Yeah. Also, funny thing is, I looked up Audrey Dalton's other movies. Technically, MST3K fans have seen her before.
I believe so. If I remember correctly, Getting with the Whip.
Bingo.
Got you guys. Um, she feels more like a TV person. And yes, people back in the day actually felt more movie or TV. It
Yeah,
wasn't their fault. It just was.
yeah. Like there wasn't a lot of like Lucy and Desi's that could do both.
Right. There was. I mean, if you watched Once Upon a Time in America, you kind of understood what was going on.
Once
And
upon a
there
time in Hollywood.
Once
You're
upon,
thinking
I'm thinking Leone, New
Leo,
York, gangsters.
yeah, Robert De Niro and all that. Yeah,
Once Upon a Time in
in
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Yeah,
Yes, where
like
Dalton wants to break out of TV, but he's being held back because they see him as a TV guy.
yeah, and that's when you go to Italy
That's
and
when he
we get
goes to
like
Italy.
spaghetti westerns and
Mhm.
that the whole story.
Yep. He becomes middling talent.
Yeah, and the thing is at the end of the day, this is. I'm not gonna lie, even for Castle, this is like B, C tier at best.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's seeing the scene change, and he's trying to get to be part of the scene. And I
Yeah, but
like doing my hands like this. It looks me look cool. Now,
yeah, but
what do you get
even
what I'm
then,
saying? He whiffs it. Yeah, I'm not gonna say he's successful.
I think it's just because it. This is the weirdest thing to say about William Castle, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You can't help but feel like his heart wasn't in it as much.
Maybe because he couldn't do what he wanted to do.
Maybe,
Because he was working at Columbia at the time of this one.
yeah. Technically this was a studio release. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, maybe this one was a lot more stricter thanks to the Hayes
I
Code
mean,
plus a studio backing. So maybe there was going to be a lot more. Like one of the things they really mention as part of the ghoul myth is the whole idea of eating corpses.
right.
We don't
But
really
you
see
didn't
that.
see corpse eating. No. So
No,
it's more likely a rumor. But we do see me a nice bowl of Jello pudding.
which is, but it's the Jello pudding that they color red to make it to try to trick kids into thinking it's brains.
Right. Mhm. You like red Jello pudding, right, Ookami? No
Fuck.
comment.
What?
The Cosby impression maker fell asleep.
See, yeah. You like the Jello pudding?
Go back to jail.
Not until you try my Jello pudding pie.
Jesus Christ.
That man, thank God, that man is never allowed to say jiggler ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. This film, like I said, this film left no impression.
It felt run of mill, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. For its time, it was trying to be part of the curve, but it was kind of dragging behind the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I think if I was to give a studio the money and tell them to remake this, even back in the day, like to give them this story, this is more a Hammer story than anything else. This is not a Columbia William Castle.
Yeah, you should have handed it. And Columbia was was it Universal hooked up Hammer or was it Columbia?
Uh,
I want to say Universal, and then
Hammer,
Amicus was hooked up with Columbia.
for Hammer in particular, let's see.
Yeah, Universal distributed it for them.
So it's a lot of it was their monsters.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you have it distributed have the script distributed to Amicus or Hammer, and have them play around with it, and then you have a better picture in color.
Mm-hmm.
This was in Technicolor equipment at the time. I do like the idea of the psychosomatic smile.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. But again, it's just that there are certain things about it that just, if you think about it too hard, it makes it awkward.
It does.
Like they do explain it in the movie, but it still makes no goddamn sense. Like specifically, how the fuck is he still talking?
Right. Look, he uses his diaphragm and his throat muscles to help make sounds out of his mouth.
Yeah, but also there's the illusion's kind of ruined. Is that when you put the mask on, you can tell they didn't put the prosthetic back on, so you can see his chin.
His chin move. Yeah. Should have covered the chin. Should have had a chin back there. Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, give Guy. I almost called him Guy Ritchie. What's his name?
Guy Rolfe.
Guy Rolfe. Yeah, Guy Rolfe. Yeah. Like, give him props. He is definitely trying.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the one really. Like if Ron Lewis is sort of hindered by the fact he can't go full Hammer, Guy Rolfe said, "Fuck it, they're allowing me to do it, so I'm gonna go full Hammer."
Right. I'm chewing up this scenery. You can't stop me, motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah.
He'd be the guy who the director's like, give me the scenery, give me the you know.
Yeah.
No, give me the wall. You know.
It's funny. The one thing that we actually forgot to mention earlier about the Tingler was that we saw color.
We did see color. We saw red.
Oh yeah, like that.
We saw blood. We saw
that definitely makes that movie a lot more interesting, just for those nice scenes of very selective color you use. Like this one is just full classic sort of Technicolor.
No, classic black and white.
Yeah, I think this could have actually done with some color.
It could have done with color. That's what I said before. Give it to Amicus. Give it to Tragan. They would have done it in color. Much more better.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. I was thinking of 13 Ghosts where he went full Pathé color, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's just at the end of the day, you're watching this movie for Mr. Sardonicus, and maybe like Oscar Homolka, because he's definitely he's kind of just kind of really good like run of the mill Igor type.
Hmm.
They at least try to give him a little bit more dimension with the fact that Sardonicus did hurt and torture him by straight up taking his eye out.
Yes.
So if nothing else, that like I give Oscar Homolka props. He does give Kroll a little bit more than just
Dimension, yes. He gives
a little
him.
more than just being an Igor.
Hmm. He tortures his soul himself. So.
Yeah, like even with the whole scene, we get a scene where Sardonicus finds out that dear Sir Rob, after trying the major technique and it not working, Robert was going to refuse. He was going to leave, but if you don't cure me, I'm gonna do the same thing to me to that hot chick you happen to be in love with. And like
Yeah.
with Kroll, you can tell like he's giving them that right amount of hesitation of
Wait, you can't be serious, right?
yeah, like
Yeah.
I shouldn't. Should I? I don't think I should do this. And then there's a threat of you must remember you had two.
Right.
Yeah. So although that one again is kind of hindered by the makeup
Mm,
because you can tell where like probably it's mostly because we probably watched this on a little bit more of a higher def picture than it was meant. But
right.
you can see some of the seams on the latex,
Mm,
and you can kind of see Homoko's eye where the in the middle where the like where like the scars and stuff should be.
right.
Again, it's not the fault of the movie. It's just that unfortunately we're watching this probably in higher picture quality than it was actually meant to be.
4K, baby.
So this is another one of those things. Like this is very much not it's not even as fun as like B movies can be, but
Hmm.
it's not that it's terrible. It's kind of the best 6 out of 10 B movie.
Yeah. You understand what it's trying to do. You understand he's trying to get on a trend. When he jumps off trying to think he's hitting the wagon and he just headbutts the back of the wagon. If that
Yeah,
makes any sense.
yeah.
Do you headbutt back to the wagon, Ookami?
When are we getting to the next movie?
Okay. Finally. All right. Would you watch this in movie? Would you watch this movie back in time? Watch it in the theater. Get the physical media. Watch it on stream and forget it altogether.
This is one I could have just skipped. It just did nothing for me.
Right. Just didn't get that itch.
No.
No.
Nope.
Again, it's another thing where I would love to go back in time and experience the punishment pole within itself. But
Right.
the general movie, I will give it a little more and say it's definitely a Sunday streaming viewing. But otherwise, I would not blame you for forgetting this movie. It's just
Right. It's hype is more bigger than its content.
Yes.
pretty much.
Gotcha. You got it. Anything else you guys want to add to it?
That's about it. Like we need to pump up the energy, and I think this last movie is gonna have us a little bit more fun.
So toss that one out. We're going backwards a year. The introduction of anthropomorphic 3D, two color 3D gels, comes into motion around this time. And everybody wants a piece of the action. So, of course, Castle wants to do his thing, and he creates one of the best movies in his collection. Ladies and gentlemen, 1960s 13 Ghosts. Let's run that beautiful beam footage.
Listen to William Castle, whom the Saturday Evening Post calls the master of movie horror.
Do you believe in ghosts? I do. And you will too. When you come to this theater and see my picture, 13 Ghosts. No more dictation today. When you see 13 Ghosts, you'll be given a supernatural viewer like this, which will enable you to penetrate for the first time into the spirit world. It will let you see all 13 of our weird, wonderful, and wildly assorted ghosts.
Now, brace yourself as we take you across the threshold of our haunted mansion, where there's a ghost for everyone in the family. Father, mother, sister, brother. You'll be scared stiff too when you see what they see. 13 ghosts, materializing in ectoplasmic color through the magic of Illusiono. The Ghost Viewer. The ghost of a lion in the basement. The ghost of a murderous cook in the kitchen.
Stop it! Stop it, I say!
The ghost who speaks through the lips of the living. Death tonight. To one of you. Ah! The evil ghost in the bedroom, fighting to take possession of this beautiful girl. You'll feel all the thrills and chills of seeing one ghost multiplied by the magic number 13.
All right, 13 Ghosts, 1960. Coming in at a sturdy buck, I want to say 25, buck 25. William Castle directed, Rob White written, starring Charles Herbert, Joe Morrow, Martin Milner, Rosemary DeCamp, Ronald Woods, Margaret Hamilton, John Van Dreelen, Jean Baker, John Burnside, William Castle as himself, Ralph Helfer, David Hoffman, and a cast of tens. A family inherits a house with 12 ghosts who wants a 13th ghost. Will they be able to provide it one? Ladies and gentlemen, your first thoughts.
The trailer was a lie. There was no color.
Only the gels in your viewer.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, this one was prime grade A schlock, and I loved every minute of it.
Yes. So it's pretty much a museum director inherits the house of a parapsychologist. And he realized the parapsychologist used the house as a ghost bag, a way to trap ghosts. Oh, and there's hidden money somewhere. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the ghosts.
Remember, it's 13 ghosts, not 13 ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And not the 13 ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
With Vincent Price.
God, I would have loved to see
that at some point then.
God, I would have loved to see Vincent Price as one of the ghosts. He would fucking sell that shit.
He is. He's the ghostly inheritor. Shaggy is his nephew.
No, I'm talking about him in 13 Ghosts, not 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
Oh. That's
so, yeah, this is probably the one most people... out of the three we talked about, this is probably the one most people will be familiar with. If nothing else, you will be familiar with the 2001 remake,
Yes.
There are 13 ghosts.
which
But there's 13 ghosts
Yeah.
in there, so it's not really a true remake. So I got you. Ha. No.
yeah, it's a long story. That was the whole thing. Part of like Dark Castle Entertainment, which its whole thing was Robert Zemeckis trying to remake all the Castle stuff. After he only remade 2, and then he gave up.
I'm gonna make Haunted Hill better.
You
Like
cast
it seems
Chris
like after
Kattan.
13 goes, he said, fuck this.
Yeah. But no, it is pretty much. We're in this haunted house. We don't understand anything except our young son, who seems to be a budding parapsychologist in himself. He would later call himself Hans Holzer. No.
Oh God.
No, Hans Holzer's the good ones. Hans Holzer's
Okay.
the good. Yeah. If I wanted to say a bad one, I'd say Ed Warren.
Hey!
Watch this space. You know?
Oh, that's gonna be a fun project.
Mm-hmm. But no, you have also Illusional, which is basically red and blue 3D.
Like the classic 3D that most people recognize as 3D.
Yes. But set in a way that looked like it was top of the line. Easy. So what you did was you watched the movie through the red. Wait, was it the red or the blue gel? And then when there was a ghost there, you switched to the red gel. And ooh, spooky ghost, spooky ghost.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a pain in the ass at all. No wonder they went to glasses.
Yeah, prism glasses. Like a certain Zach Baggins. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, no, like the way I would say the way that was shown. The way that is shown, I think it would be a pain in the ass to hold that thing to your face the entire fucking movie.
It would, yeah. That's why they only slept like certain times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. No, this one is just kind of. It is what it is on the tin. It's just kind of classic, kitsch, goofy as all hell, haunted house story.
Yes.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
This
Like,
is true.
if you don't mind old flickering lights and ghosts going, oh,
The odd
like,
Ouija board.
you get a full-on sheet ghost at one point.
You get ghost lion tamer and ghost lion.
Yeah, no, it's just
And you get ghost chef boyardee.
that's the funny one. Like, I love how like they try to give each ghost a story.
Right.
And my favorite though is just that they kind of cop out near the end. Like they came up with 11 unique story ones. They couldn't come up with 12 and 13, so they just said fuck it.
Like, yeah. The 12th one is a Roman pinwheel. Yes, a Roman pinwheel. Look at it go closer to you, coming to attack you. Isn't it spooky? Isn't it spooky? It's coming towards you.
Yeah, no, this is just it's fun, but it is stupid fun.
Yes. It's got like a little mystery, and you realize there's a little mystery till you get to the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, which again,
okay,
it's just like adding parts to the plot that wasn't really needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. They have the wicked witch of the east watching.
Yes.
The west. Wicked witch of the west watching over the
Watching
entire
over.
time.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. Like, no, oh god.
No. Yeah, Margaret Appleton was in this.
Yeah, no, I remember. Like, I forgot that she was in this. So me and Ookami had the very same reaction because in the movie, Little Buck says, "Oh, we have a witch in the house," and it's like a witch. Like, yeah, well, she comes and does the floor. It's like, oh, he means the housekeeper. He means no harm by it. Like, there she is. And when it was Margaret fucking Hamilton holding a broom, the immediate reaction from me and Ookami was, "Oh fuck you, Castle."
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it came in at the same time. It's like, oh fuck you.
Yeah, which it does it is kind of a little not shitty, but just kind of unfortunate because from what I understand, Margaret Hamilton later on in life really kind of hated the fact that most people only knew her as the Wicked Witch of the West.
West, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because it
That
was
was it.
like, yeah, because like Hollywood would not like cast her in things other than basically Wicked Witch roles. And
Right.
for the longest time, back when she was a school teacher, actually, which is funny, she said kids would legit be scared shitless of her because they found out she was the witch.
Yeah.
Mhm. She'd be like, "Oh no, I'm good." Ah. Yeah.
Which is funny because fun fact to tie into some of our favorite little topics we talk about. Margaret Hamilton, up until recently, was involved in a big piece of lost media,
Mm-hmm.
which was the Sesame Street episode where she appeared as the Wicked Witch.
Wicked Witch. Yes.
Yep. Somebody finally got it,
Yeah,
Someone found it. Someone found that footage.
and I have that
Yeah.
shit backed up.
yeah,
Have
she
that
did
okay.
that.
I have that episode.
Yeah, funny thing is, she actually technically did that twice.
Yeah,
One
she
for
did for Mr. Rogers as well.
and one from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. With the whole idea being that no, the Wicked Witch is just a character. Don't calm down, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to be scared of someone, be scared of Mr. McFeely. He's got feeling in his name. Who does that? Yeah.
No, if you're gonna be scared for anyone, be scared for the guy who originally was in the Tin Man suit, but then got fucking nickel poisoning.
Mm-hmm. That was
Yeah, no development. One of as like the reason why people love the Wizard of Oz as it does is mainly because it's a miracle that film got fucking made.
yes. Yes.
It's like people were one of the actors died. Judy Garland was stuck in a corset that broke multiple of her ribs, and that's where she got addicted to painkillers. Apparently, they rented out a hotel for the Munchkins, and they were fucking party animals.
I got a movie for that.
Oh yeah, they made a doc of that, right? Or
Yo,
like a
an
biopic.
actual movie
Oh yeah.
called Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, there's that. There's the fact that the snow and the poppy scenes was shredded up asbestos.
Asbestos, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that movie's development is a fascinating fucking mess.
It is. It is.
Anyway,
Remember the
back
hanging
to 13 Ghosts.
Munchkin. Remember that?
Oh god.
So I still love when Robot Chicken would reference that. It's like, just the good parts. And it's like Wizard of Oz. There are like movies done quickly. It's like Wizard of Oz. It's like, oh, I don't want to be home. Oh, I'm far from home. I want to go home now. Hanging Munchkin. I'm home.
Yeah, just no.
There's no place like home.
Just,
All while Dark Side of the Moon is playing for some reason. Just God, I forget at what song plays during the Hanging Munchkin Park, but all I can hear in my head is the woman singing during Great Gig in the Sky. Just you see the Hanging Munchkin bucket and you just hear going, oh! Like, what the fuck? I think the acid's gone bad, folks.
maybe at some point we need to do that. Maybe we need to watch
Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon.
I still have a copy. Let's give it
I'll
to
see
me.
if I can get my sister to send me some treats.
I was about to say that is what you definitely need substances for.
Yes. Hey, buddy, can I get some of your brownies, please?
Oh, damn it! Now I'm just thinking of Reefer Madness, the musical with the fucking brownie animation. God.
But back to 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
If I could flex some parapsychology muscle, looking at the looking at the big picture with Zorba and the partnership of Zorba and Zarhides, Zorba tends to be something of a believer archetype
Hmm.
in that he believes in ghosts and wants to trap ghosts to show that ghosts exist. And that is the opposite of the skeptic who,
Yeah.
okay, there's ghosts. I want to make sure it's a ghost by proving it's not a ghost. You know?
So to put it in pop culture terms, Zorba would be the Ray.
Yes. Zorba would be Conan Doyle, whereas his relative would be more Harry Houdini.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a war between them.
There's
Arthur
that.
Conan Doyle was the believer, whereas Houdini was the skeptic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or to tie into some of our favorite interests, one would be the Warrens, the other would be the Amazing Randy.
Randy. Yes. 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 But yeah, there would be believers who would, you know, oh, there are ghosts. I can prove it. Yeah, but I'm debunking everything you're using to prove it with, my man.
Yeah, well, although admittedly with this one we don't get a full-on
No.
skeptic.
No, we don't get it. We get a middle way because Zorba's ancestor were actually working on something that can actually prove the ghost.
Which gives us the special glasses that look
gives
like
us
what
the special-
happens if you just put prisms on a frame and wrapped them in foam and made them electrically charged for some reason.
Electrically charged, that could kill flies.
So basically, a shitty prototype for Google Glass.
Boom! We'll be here all night, folks. Try to be.
You ghosts tried to make me think that I was a ghost. That was really you the entire time. Pretty sneaky for a ghost.
I was one big thing I can't help but laugh though. Technically the title is a fucking lie.
No, there was actually 13 ghosts.
Well, no, it's because for most of the movie we have 12, and then the 13th ghost comes near the end.
Right.
So it's like for most of this movie it's 12 ghosts. Fucking liars.
Well, they didn't lie. They were bringing someone in. It's just that everybody kept interrupting them when they were trying to tell who it was.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so the kind of spoiler the whole thing, yes, spoilers for a movie came out in 1960. To make a long story short, the mysterious death of the uncle, it reveals itself to be that the lawyer killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Which
because the uncle was feeling that his accounts were being dipped in.
So yeah, he converted everything into cash.
Cash and hid it.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't give up the hiding spot. So the lawyer crushed him with a bed that crushes. Why would you have a bed that crushes? I do not know.
I imagine maybe it was for one of the if that type of bed was like a Murphy bed and maybe it was more compact. I don't know.
No, Murphy beds come from the couch to you.
No, what I mean is like, what's that type of bed that comes from a wall? Like you can hide in like cabinets and things like that.
That's a wall bed.
That's literally what it's called.
Yeah.
Is it literally just called a wall bed? I've always heard those called Murphy beds.
I thought those Murphy beds was coming out of the couch.
Maybe it's any kind of
Foldable bed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll work with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the way the setup, the way it looks to me like it would be a setup where you would press the button, the top comes down, and then you would pack up. You would put the bed against the wall and pack it up. I don't know. I don't know 1960s technology, dude. As far as I'm aware, it could have just been for.
I am just a caveman in your world.
Yeah.
I do not understand these intricate things as Murphy beds.
Like, as far as I'm aware, it could have been a sex thing. Dr. Zorba might have been some weird shit. I don't know.
Compression?
Supposed to press down on his
Maybe.
penis. I don't know.
But wouldn't compression involve copious amounts of rubber?
Usually. Anyway,
He was drunk and thought it was a good idea at the time.
I'm gonna put in a bed that's gonna squash me. That'll do me in.
So
yes, you see.
Yeah, so throughout the movie, he kind of develops a relationship with Buck, the youngest son, because for some reason, Buck decides throughout the movie to slide down the banister railing because he's just a kid, right? But also, we later find out that him sliding reveals a little hidden compartment that just seems to flow money.
Yes. Not like, oops, there's a couple bucks that fell out. Just floop, 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 out of the sky.
Like a couple $100 just randomly floats out of the banister. What? Yeah, and like if nothing else, I think this is the most creative I think Castle ever really got.
I bet, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Well, I say Castle, but we also have to give props to the writer, who's kind of one of Castle's definitely. While a lot of the movies definitely are centered around and fucking bankrolled on the name William Castle. One of his big writers, I think for all three of his movies, was Rob White, who did really, really well.
Except for Sardonicus. He didn't do Sardonicus.
Did he not do Sardonicus?
No. He did Haunted Hill, Tingler, and 13 Ghosts. And Homicidal. William Castle's Psycho ripoff.
Which is ironic because Psycho was originally kind of Alfred Hitchcock trying to do a William Castle movie.
I bet, yeah.
No, specifically in the way that it was a Castle movie, because it was Alfred Hitchcock trying to do his best horror movie on a lower budget.
That, and he tried to advertise it by sitting with the people and say, "Hello, I'm Alfred Hitchcock."
So it's very much
movie.
So it was very much Hitchcock trying to do a William Castle or maybe more of a Roger Corman.
Right.
Like, that's a weird thing to think about, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, fucking Alfred Hitchcock, one of the most legendary filmmakers of all time, was inspired by the same dude that gave us the Tingler.
Yeah, he probably liked that.
He probably liked it. He loved it.
If nothing else, he would use it.
Oh my! Someone shocked my bum.
Well, it's either that or he would use it to continually torture Tippi Hedren.
That too.
Jesus.
Zip zip. Oh my! Someone shocked my bum again.
Yeah, just look, as legendary as Alfred Hitchcock is, and he is, dude was kind of legendarily an asshole. Let's not mince words.
Someone keeps sobbing my bum.
Like, very specifically to blondes.
Yes, he had Argento streak to him.
Yeah, he was kind of a legendarily asshole.
I kind of like that, Bussy. What happened?
Granted, it's kind of like an epic Batman history thing. Like, you can't imagine who would be the worst to work with on set? Alfred Hitchcock or Stanley Kubrick?
Kubrick.
Mm,
Kubrick caused legitimate physical harm.
True.
Ford shot people with blanks.
And full on like panic attacks and mental breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Granted, you get Kubrick props. He didn't pull a John Landis.
No.
No, but
Oh,
he
no,
almost
the rig's
killed an
great.
entire crew once with fucking because he made a quote unquote fog machine, but forgot to take the fucking poison out of it.
Oops.
Yeah, you forget about that. Yeah, there's a war movie he made where he accidentally poisoned everyone with the fog.
Was that Fear and Desire, or was that?
Fear and Desire. That was Fear and Desire.
Yeah, that was one of his early ones. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He doesn't know effects.
Yeah. Basically, long story short, folks, when you talk about film auteurs, you can respect the art, but also acknowledge that most of them were kind of major assholes.
Except Herzog. He morphed his assholeness into Klaus Kinski.
True, but you can also argue that his assholeness is more of a defense mechanism against Klaus Kinski. Like, even a horror story about Herzog and Kinski, that's a battle. That's a war between those two. That's entirely Herzog's fault.
That's like watching Godzilla versus King Kong. Let them fight.
Like, Roy, we've seen Bird of the Dreams and Fitzcarraldo. We know the extent of fucking Herzog versus Kinski.
Kinski, yes.
Christ alive.
The motherfucker shot in the lunchroom. The motherfucker. Did he hit anyone? No. Then you're okay.
I realize as I look at the shot, it is beautiful, it is horrible, and I never want to do this again. And he's not even looking at the boat; he's just looking at Klaus Kinski.
He thinks it's about the boat, but he's talking about Kinski.
Yeah.
Kinski's just so unassuming, he's being all friendly, like.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Hertz, like, again, another one of our patron saints. Fucking Werner, good old Werner.
Werner suffered for his art doubly with an adoptive brother named Klaus Kinski.
Well, they're suffering for your art and suffering because you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, Ookami, do you know about Fitzcarraldo? Out of morbid curiosity.
I've heard
of 13 Ghosts.
I've heard the stories.
Long story short, never actually try to move a boat up a mountain.
It doesn't work well.
No, what the fuck?
And he went back to 13 Ghosts. Weirdly, this is how you tell this is how you can tell we really like the movie.
But we don't know what to work with.
We can make connections to the most random shit if we really like a movie.
Yeah. Just zoom into Klinsky. Oh shit. Yeah.
I just want to go back to my mind just keeps wanting to go back to Hitchcock enjoying the shocks.
I quite rather like the shocking. What happened?
Sir, you sat on it too much. You crushed the converter box.
Oh my! I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Well, we're charging the theater.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you.
Here's some money. Go ahead and go fix it. I'll stay here.
Yeah.
And it's just a silhouette, so all you hear is the Alfred Hitchcock Presents theme.
Oh God! Oh God!
You can tell we're near the end of an episode, folks. We got fucking delusional.
Oh, oh, oh God!
Oh God.
Oh, how do you drink? But no, ladies and gentlemen, 13 Ghosts is cool. It's revolutionary for what it was. It was one of the most forefront in 3D. The gimmick did great. Big box office. Uh, the only thing that beat it was the Wax Museum. Terrors of the Wax. Is it Horrors of the Wax Museum or Terrors of the Wax Museum?
Was it Terror of the Wax Museum at that point, or was it House of Wax at that point?
House of Wax. Thank you. House of Wax beat it.
Which is ironic because that one starred Vincent Price.
Price, yes. It's brilliant too.
It's all connected. Like, it's like at the end of the day, it's like, would I recommend this movie? Yeah.
Yes.
Fun time. Like, yeah, the main family, well, they're not bad. They're definitely serviceable. But you're not there for the family drama or the fucking inheritance, whatever the fuck you give this shit.
That's just filler. You're here for the ghost. You're here for the gimmick.
Mm.
And it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Very beautiful.
Like, it's that pure, unadulterated cheese.
Non-government issue.
Yeah, it is it is hokey, it is cheesy, but goddamn, we're here for it.
Yes, it is fucking fun.
That is pure unadulterated schlock right there. That is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So, anything else you want to add to about it? No,
I'm good.
All right. Would you go back in time to watch it in the theater? Would you buy the physical media? Would you watch it on streaming or forget it altogether?
I'd probably watch it on streaming. I don't know if I would buy this one, but I think I'd stream it.
Okay.
I mean,
with or without glasses.
I can't perceive shit like that with those glasses.
Okay, whatever.
I don't work that way.
All right.
Luckily, it's probably pretty easy to get a copy of this at this point.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
been, like, so many different fucking reissues.
Mm-hmm. You can get it in a William Castle box set. That's on, I think, only DVD.
Yeah. I imagine there's probably already a Blu-ray release somewhere. If you want to go that far.
Just have to look for it.
Yeah. I will say this is definitely one where both of my feelings stay the same. I would love to see this in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, I would love to have one of those fucking Illusiono cards.
Yes.
Like, just to see the earliest form of anaglyphic.
Anaglyphic.
Yeah, not how you said it.
Yeah, anaglyphic 3D.
Anaglyphic 3D. Yes.
Yeah, it's
red gel, blue gel for all your.
Yeah, it's just the most beautiful hokey shit that would later on show you great movies like Spy Kids 3D. Game over.
Or Clash of the Titans 2.
And eventually, somehow, some way, it always led to James Cameron.
Avatar, folks.
Do you remember that movie? I barely do. All I remember is that it's Dancing with Smurfs and Unobtainium. That's all I remember.
Yes.
You know, we have dances with Smurfs. We now have dances with Snorks, and I don't even know what the fuck this next one's gonna be.
Dancing with the Chipmunks?
No, it's just desert folk.
Oh, so it's Dancing with Sandworms?
No, it's where are those small people in Star Wars in the desert?
Oh, Dancing with Jawas.
Dancing with Jawas. Yeah.
Houdini! Houdini!
Yeah. We're gonna dance
Or-
with Jawas next, baby.
Or just to fuck with the audience, it's the Jawa things from Spaceballs.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding,
ding,
ding.
ding, ding,
Saying
ding,
where they
ding,
tend to look up.
ding,
Did I
ding.
miss something? When do we have to Disneyland?
Dingleberries. I even ate them with yogurt.
Just like, how about you guys? We ain't found shit.
Okay. With that being said, now, if you haven't catched on, this is a cross-country season where we cover movies out of certain states, and then we ask the question: if we were in the director's chair, we were in the producer's chair, what interesting event, interesting person, or infamous incident would we film that hasn't been filmed before in our state? So this state is Texas. So what would you guys say is an interesting thing that hasn't been filmed before? Or an interesting.
Someone not being racist.
That's a given, but is there any cool people that deserve to be like a biopic or an incident deserves, like the Wild Man of Navidad?
Well, I mean, honestly, the one thing that pops in my head, I would love to see more. Specifically, when it comes to Texas, I would love to see more stories that set around like border towns. Because
Okay.
border towns have this very interesting, weird culture where you get a lot of the influence from the Mexican border.
Mm-hmm.
Also have that battle with like American culture and cowboy culture and like oil baron.
Right. Right.
So in towns like Martha or Eagle Rock, there's like this weird little like cluster of towns, which not a lot of people get to see except when Fox News wants to fearmonger about immigrants.
Okay.
Like you could honestly tell great, like you could even take like some of the great like Mexican folklore stories and put them in those
Mhm.
border towns and make it a lot more
Yeah.
interesting. Like, you know, like we've mentioned, me and Roy have talked about La Llorona immensely.
Yes.
Another example would be a good one. Is one I always heard about was the Kukui.
We need a Kukui film.
Yeah, the Kukui, which is kind of sort of generally basically the Mexican equivalent of the boogeyman. But the
So,
way
would you send Mexican John Wick to face the Kukui?
that would be Mexican Baba Yaga. You must remember this.
But isn't okay? Is
Yeah.
there a Mexican Baba Yaga?
Maybe?
That would be La Bruja,
Probably.
right?
Like maybe, but you'll also get a little bit of the La Llorona myth in Baba Yaga, kind of.
Kinda.
It's weird. But honestly, the story I was always told by my grandfather, may he rest in peace, is that every time after it would during like before or after it would rain, the fog would come over the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he would tell me that the Kukui is showing up. He travels through fog through the mountains over the towns.
Okay.
Granted, I describe it now just saying like I'm asking you to make a Mexican remake of The Fog, which I would see.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Like do like
Right
do
that
like
down. Write that down.
do like The Fog, but with like more of like a Babadook like style character and not like sea zombies.
Right. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
There's Chupacabra too, but we've been doing some Chupacabra films.
Here and there,
Oh,
yeah,
here and
but
there,
they're
yeah.
not like the problem is with the Chupacabra is that unless you fully do the Mexican theming, it's essentially just a desert version of the Jersey Devil.
Right.
Instead of the Pine Barrens, it's the Rio Grande. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yes.
the biggest distinction is that Chupacabra more eats sheep.
They like the lamb chops.
Pretty much.
Yes. Any myths around your way, Ookami? Urban legends, places you should not go into.
None that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm in a college town. I don't.
You want to have those college like urban myths? Hey, if you drink too much Tide Pods, you go blind.
Sure, urban myth.
Well, the thing is that you not completely dox Okami. She is more middle-ish Texas, like closer to not close enough to the coast, but
Right.
but a little further up towards more like East Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get into that around that area, you definitely get more southern, but that's also where you get a lot more of like hill country. That's where you get like the oil fields. That's where you get like
Yeah, I'm in hill country.
yeah. So that's where you get a lot more.
Hellbillies.
Basically, yeah, that's where you get more Texas Chainsaw, Hills Have Eyes,
Mm-hmm.
Wrong Turn, that kind of
A
area.
lot of cults like to hang out there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
See, and I know what to do. Kick him in the dick and run.
And if they ever talk to you about not getting enough proteins in your brain, fucking run.
Yes.
Like, if nothing else, like, even if you go further up north Texas, maybe you can do some more native indigenous myths up there.
Right.
Specifically along, like, the Panhandle and, like, around northern Texas and Oklahoma. But even then, that's kind of pushing it a little bit,
Yeah.
especially with stuff like maybe like the Wendigo or like the Thunderbird or something. But even then,
like the Skinwalker.
yeah, but that is still distinctly more indigenous than Texas specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyways, so we on the show.
Yes.
It's our normal time skip. Let's finish this sucker.
Mr. Ookami.
You can find me over on Podbean as well as YouTube under Wolfson Productions. From goofy ass anime to shocking horror, Wolfson Productions, your number one stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. I also have a Blue Sky. That would be Mistress Ookami. Check it out at your own risk.
What is with you people? I'm at your own risk. Damn.
Look, Doc follows me and I follow Doc. So now I've gotten things in there that I'm like, wait, I didn't ask for this.
Everybody thinks I'm the dirty old man, but I'm the good Christian boy of the group. What's going on?
Listen, you gotta support the mutual aid, and sometimes that mutual aid comes with titties.
Okay.
Well, no, oftentimes, Doc, I get you having posted something with oh, she's got a surprise for me.
Hey, I put you among your people.
What the fuck?
I just don't need it in my face constantly.
I already know what I have down there. I don't need reminders of it.
You can also find me on Patreon with the Wolfson Patreon.
Preverts! I'm surrounded by preverts!
See, with Baron, I get tits and ass. With Doc, I get tits and dick. So...
Hey, my pansexuality is full out on display, motherfucker.
Yeah, it is full on display. It is very much on display.
I lost control.
It's at attention.
Now our audience head is nothing but filled but with femboy bud. Ooh.
Hello, I'm William Castle. And my next film will have a femboy buzzer. Every time you see the femboy, you hit the buzzer. like so. Bzzz, and you'll get a pleasurable feeling.
13 Ghost says trans rights, motherfuckers. Ooh.
Go on.
Doc, your turn.
Okay, as I kill my two co-hosts. You can mainly find me here at Starlite, the Red Light, and of course OTEP, Over the Years podcast, where we take a look at technically positive hip hop music and see if it's worth the listen. By the time this comes out, I think we'll have had the first 2 episodes out of the new season, and we'll probably get the third one on the way. That's on Wolfman Productions here on Podbean, but that's also on Roy's channel, and you can also find me on the main channel at Wolfman Productions. For other sources of my bullshit, as you no doubt am now intrigued and or starred by, I do have a Blue Sky under Chaotic Doctor. That is my sort of main social media feed that I use now. Yeah, it's very non-safe for work. Very, very LGBTQ plus friendly. I mean, very friendly. Trust me.
Y'all need church.
I do have church. Roy. I'm at the Church of Russ Meyer.
Okay. I was going to say the church of what's happening now, but okay.
Yeah, that too. Anyway,
Uncle Joey loves you.
Yeah, at the Chaotic Doctor, on Blue Sky, and on Critic List under Chaotic Doctor, where I've done reviews, I've done lists, including the thing I promoted earlier. I am gonna try to get that done. Hell, by the time this comes out, I would probably have done it already. I don't know, but that's where you're gonna find some of my more unhinged and sort of unfiltered, even slightly more unfiltered thoughts on pieces of media. Roy, can you close this out, please?
Yes, you can find us here on the Starlight, the Red Light, and Over the Years podcast, OTEP, here on the Wolfden podcast, Productions Podbean. You can catch us almost every Sunday.
That's when I usually post it. Yeah, Sundays.
Yes, usually Sundays. You got some love mail, some hate mail, some William Castle mail, some Tingler mail, some Sardonicus mail, some ghostly mail, some buzzer mail, some Kinski mail. Send it to starlightpodcast@protonmail.com. You can also contact us at Zetter, X, Twitter. Starlight at capital R, capital L, capital P, capital S, Starlight. Yes, RLP Starlight. I'm also working in Critic List. Do some reviews, do some lists. Go check them out. I am one of the greats. Love to hear from you. And what is next on the docket? We are going to... I gotta look. What does the list say? We're going to Alaska.
Hell yeah.
First in our state. All right. We're going to cover The Fourth Kind and Hold the Dark. Be there, be square. Put your radios back on the poles. Make sure you turn back your headlights on and follow these signs on the ground to the proper exits. Goodbye.
Doc, did that? Please tell me that bag already had a hole in it.
Oh yeah, it's a breathing / poke and stick hole. Watch.
There's nothing in there.
There's nothing.
There's nothing in there. Shaking the bag. See, I'm shaking the bag. There's nothing falling out.
Well, I'm gonna take my mandated union lunch break. You're on your own, fuckers. Later.
Get back here, you mother! Get back here! Come on!